Kansas State has lost 5 of its last 6 meetings with Oklahoma, and the Wildcats haven't beaten the Sooners in 5 years. But a win today for Kansas State would end the 4th-ranked Sooners bid for a trip to the BCS title game. We're counting you down to the first kick here on College Football Saturday Kickoff. Every team starts the season with hopes of winning that piece of hardware, but only 5 were in the prime position. 2 of those 5, number 4 Oklahoma and number 5 USC, will both be in action today here on College Football Saturday. Welcome inside our College Football Saturday studios here in Los Angeles. I'm Michael Leaves. That, of course, is DeMarco Farr. Glad to see you for another edition of College Football Saturday Kickoff. DeMarco, as we edge closer and closer to November, the pressure to win for these teams out here grows with each passing game.
Huge pressure. The BCS standings are out, so when you talk to a coach and you ask him to assess his BCS chances, if he says he doesn't know, he's not telling you the truth. A lot of pressure for veterans like OU, Texas, SC, been here before. For new guys like Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, it's a lot of pressure. How will they deal with it today? We're
going to find out because a lot of those teams you said, DeMarco, are in action, including coming up later today on College Football Saturday. A team giving Oklahoma a run for its money is the title of best one-loss team in the country. 5th-ranked USC on the road against Arizona. They scored 69 last week. What will they do this week? And, folks, if you have a thought on that game or any other question related to college football, hit us up at 310-425-9455 so you can be a part of text time. DeMarco will be responding to your text deep into the evening here on College Football Saturday. But first, though, it's time for some tailgating. Let's get you out to Memorial Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, where the fans are awaiting the first meeting between number 4 Oklahoma and Kansas State since 2005. Calling the game for us today, Bill Land and Dave Lavin. Hey, guys.
Hey, fellas, we decided to give you a little pregame flavor. Tailgating in the Little Apple of Manhattan. I don't know if there's any better place to do it, Dave.
Midwest tailgate means a lot of beef, baby, and I like that a lot.
The big fella's got to have his groceries. We'll get to him in just a second. Their problem isn't pregame. Their problem is inside the stadium today. I'm talking about K-State because Oklahoma quarterback Sam Bradford just gets better every week, Dave.
Sam Bradford led the nation in efficiency last year, and he's number 2 this year. And I'll tell you what, he's got a compact, quick release that makes him very, very accurate, completing 71% of his passes. Last week, he went to Joaquin Iglesias 12 times. That's a record for 191 yards. That's second most ever in school history. But he can spread it all over the field. He's got his 170 completions to 17 different receivers, but he's going to look at Iglesias a lot today, Bill. There's no question about it, because these guys have it going on.
All right, well, speaking of going on, we're ready to eat here. Now, I see your post-game date is waiting for you there, Dave.
You know, I have not seen Wanda the Witch since senior prom, but she had a long night last night, a little too much to drink. Needs a little white makeup today. She's a little bit green, Bill. Who do you have over there, Stir?
Well, let's check out the menu. What's on it today?
Oh, we've got breakfast burritos, bubble bread, all sorts of homemade food, potato casserole, and it's all sponsored by Lyon County State Bank out of Emporia, Kansas to support the Wildcats.
There we go.
Get that food. Take care of those sponsors.
Got you at halftime, DeMarco. Lots of good food here.
We're going to chow down. Get ready for the game.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you at the bottom of the hour. Hey, we need to take our show on the road so we can get some food.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're talking about Sam Bradford. Yeah. He's been writing new chapters in the Oklahoma record book since he first stepped foot on the field, DeMarco. But do you think he could go down as the best Oklahoma quarterback of all time?
I think he has a chance to. When I was thinking about the top OU quarterbacks in history, I came up with the D list. I kept it more contemporary, but I came up with these guys. A, Jason White. He won the Heisman in 2003. He was a runner-up. Second runner-up in 04. If he had healthy knees, how good could he have been? B, Jamel Holloway. He's absolutely the best option quarterback ever in college football. He's also the guy that kicked Troy Aikman out of town. Got to say something about that. Josh Heupel, he owns 14 OU passing records, also won a national championship, beat Florida State. He's on the list. Sam Bradford, now this is interesting. He hasn't won a Heisman, hasn't won the national championship, but he's very, very young, and he's more accurate than anybody else on this list. I think with time, he's going to be the best Oklahoma quarterback ever to come out of that school, and he's also the best in the Stoops era.
Well, of course, he broke one of Josh Heupel's record last week with those 468 passing yards against Baylor. Let's get a little dose of text time while we have the opportunity here. First up is Big Blue Bill. $2.5 million a year for Rich Rodriguez at Michigan. Worth it?
Big Blue, I think he should give like 500,000 back to the fans for what's happening out there in Michigan, but later on, it'll pay off.
Nittany Nate. How much longer should Joe Paterno coach?
Joe, coach as long as you want. 43 years is not enough. I enjoy seeing you on the field. Keep doing it.
Hey, it's a great season for him so far. Loretta says, will Boise State make a BCS bowl game?
I don't think Boise State is going to make the BCS. I see one loss, maybe even two before the year's out.
Titan, when did the Big 12 become the Pac-10? All offense and no defense.
Now, I'm a Pac-10 guy, and I play defense in the Pac-10. What kind of question is that for me? But when you have 4 starting quarterbacks returning, you expect an offensive explosion.
Steve, which coach is the best recruiter in the country?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's see. Bob Stoops at Oklahoma is great. Mac Brown can sell me a used car. Pete Carroll, if he came to my house right now, I'd sign for USC.
You can't play anymore. Vaughn says, what's your Halloween costume going to be Friday?
Oh, my goodness. My daughter talked me into being Mufasa this year. You know, a big lion with a big head and the whiskers. I'm going to be Mufasa. Stop laughing, everyone.
Okay, we'll wait.
Bite your head off.
We'll laugh in the commercial break. We got much more text time coming up. But up next, though, who has the upper hand in the battle of the BCS undefeated today? Top-ranked Texas or number 6 Oklahoma State? That's next. This is College Football Saturday Kickoff. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Kansas State taking on number 4, Oklahoma. You know, Josh Freeman is the only quarterback in the country with at least 12 touchdowns passing and 12 touchdowns running. That's right, not even reigning Heisman winner Tim Tebow can say that. But the Florida quarterback can still say that he's among the nation's leading Heisman contenders, along with 2 other quarterbacks from the Big 12.
Tim Tebow, better pocket mechanics, better pocket presence. Coming soon to a Heisman Trophy winner near you, Tim Tebow could repeat.
Wow.
No Sean Moreno back in the mix. He averaged 7.5 yards a carry last week. I think he's back in it. Colt McCoy, is there anybody hotter in the country than Colt McCoy right now? Michael Crabtree, he's Texas Tech's go-to guy. Got an injured ankle. See how good he's going to be. And Sam Bradford. What else haven't we said about Sam Bradford? Anything else?
Yeah, actually quite a bit, because he's the subject of this week's Brain Whiz, a GPA of 3.96. He's a finance major, but do you really think he's that shy?
I'm not buying it, Michael. He's Oklahoma's starting quarterback. He's not shy. He plays the cello. Tough guys don't play the cello.
1B in 73 hours of classic. He set a school record last week with 468 yards passing. College Football Saturday Kickoff rolls on.
At the center of this great country, in the very heart of the heartland, there is a tradition of victory that flows crimson and cream.
We tied, but what?
Welcome to college football, Oklahoma style. For generations, this prairie powerhouse has torn through the college ranks like a tornado. In every era, under any measure, this team knows what it takes to be a champion.
Who's number 1 anyway?
And these times are not changing. Coach Stoops has his boys set on returning the title to the friendly confines of Norman, Oklahoma. Heisman candidate Sam Bradford is leading the charge.
Bradford pass, touchdown, Oklahoma.
That ultimate victory's arrival looks much more sooner than later. It's coming up next on College Football Saturday Kickoff.
Colt McCoy has definitely kept it coming this season, leading the nation by completing 81% of his passes. But the biggest news this week in Longhorn Nation is that McCoy will keep it coming next season in Austin after announcing that he will return for his senior season. McCoy and his fellow top-ranked leading Longhorns this week's BCS Field Pass, they get set to face number 6, Oklahoma State.
Mike, which defense will blink first? Oklahoma State secondary refer to themselves as the D block. Well, they're going to need to be that to keep Colt McCoy in jail today. He is red hot. Looking forward to this football game, Mike.
One of the most bitter rivalries in the SEC, number 2 Alabama invading Tennessee.
Alabama's been red hot in the first half, but in the second half kind of fallen off. Tennessee coming off a huge win. They're fired up. They think they can get a win in this rivalry.
In the Big Ten, the game of the year, 9th-ranked Ohio State hosting number 3 Penn State.
Ohio State's defense is peaking at the right time. They're going to need to be red hot to stop Penn State's offense. Darryl Clark, the best in-game manager in college football.
Our first game of the day, number 4 Oklahoma trying to keep its BCS hopes alive, taking on Kansas State.
This could be Scary Movie Part 6. Oklahoma looking to get back in the national championship picture. Kansas State in their way. Josh Freeman got to have a big day to beat Oklahoma.
And later tonight in the Pac-10, 5th-ranked USC hitting the road to face Arizona.
I love this. 2 good defenses in the Pac-10. Let me restate that. 2 great defenses in the Pac-10. USC been lights out, leading the country in scoring defense. Arizona going to have to air it out if they're going to beat the Trojans today.
All right, several other one-loss teams holding out hope to play their way into the BCS title game as well, including 3 from the SEC, number 7 Georgia, number 13 LSU. They lose, they're out of the BCS title mix. And how about number 10 Florida, 21 straight wins against Kentucky. They should be in good shape today. But DeMarco, if the Sooners are going to hold off those other one-loss teams, it will likely be because of that defense.
Yeah, when we talk about the Big 12, it always seems like we're talking about the offense. Well, not today. It's time the D-line got some face time. Let's go into the film room. Let's talk about that Oklahoma Sooners pass rush. We call them the OU sack squad. 26 sacks, leads the Big 12, second in the nation in sacks per game. They just flat get after it. Austin English, the premier pass rusher on that defense. Good hands, good speed. He's a former high school running back, and let me tell you, he can get off the rock. 4 down versus Washington. Watch Austin English come off the ball. He almost beats the snap. Jake Locker has no chance. Just fall on it, live to fight another day. And then moving inside, Gerald McCoy. A high school All-American. He was the best prospect coming out of high school. He's been that in college football and more. Relentless, keeps coming. You can knock him down. He'll just keep snorting up the field until he gets to the quarterback. Watch versus Washington again. Beat slide protection. Good burst to the quarterback. Locker again has no chance. Brent Venables, he's 38 years old. He's energetic. He's aggressive. He runs this football team. He reminds me of a young Bob Stoops. He will be a head coach someday in college football. Now let's check out who's been giving up the fewest sacks. You see Kansas State right there, 4 giving up. The challenge today for Oklahoma, get to Freeman, put him on the ground. This will be a fun game to watch.
It should be. They can get to the quarterback. It could be a different night altogether for those Oklahoma All-Knowns. Hey, folks, don't forget, time is running out. Get in that last dose of text time before kickoff. DeMarco's waiting your questions. There you see the number, 310-425-9455. We're coming back with more right here on College Football Saturday Kickoff.
Today, 4th-ranked Oklahoma and its Heisman-contending QB, Sam Bradford, leads an explosive Sooner offense into Manhattan, Kansas.
Wide open, touchdown Oklahoma.
Kansas State gets high marks as well as Wildcat QB Josh Freeman continues his record-breaking pace.
Touchdown Kansas State.
Oklahoma comes into this Big 12 battleground with the 3rd highest points average in the nation. It's an awesome, balanced attack led by Bradford and its aggressive group of receivers, including last week's record-setting hero, Joaquin Iglesias. The Sooners seem unstoppable, but never count out the home team. 4th-ranked Oklahoma takes on Kansas State now on College Football Saturday.
It's homecoming in the Little Apple as the Cats go for the upset. From Bill Smith Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. It's Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by KFC. Today, the BCS fourth-ranked team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners, take on the Kansas State Wildcats. How big is the Big 12 South? Well, you're number 4 in the nation and you're number 4 in your division. That's the plight for Oklahoma, trailing Texas, Oklahoma State, and another unbeaten Texas Tech. Welcome, everyone. Bill Land along with Dave Lapham. Sooners bounce back from that tough loss to Texas a couple of weeks ago. Beat Kansas last week. Sam Bradford, another record-setting day, 468 yards passing. And in this political campaign, I guess he likes to spread the wealth, Dave.
17 different receivers have a catch, Bill. 7 different receivers have caught a touchdown. He throws such an extremely accurate, catchable football. He's got 7 touchdown passes of more than 50 yards. And look at his numbers the last 5 games. 468 and 411. 2 of the top 5 ever in school history that he's done in the last month plus. And he's got a couple of weapons to deal with. Iglesias is going to have to step up large today. He was the record setter last week because his compatriot, Manuel Johnson, will not play today. He has that hyperextended elbow that he's got a brace on. He's got it in a sling. He will not participate. They're going to miss his 8 touchdowns today.
For Kansas State, as they look for the upset here, they're coming off a loss to Colorado, 14-13. Their key to success is their trigger man in Josh Freeman. He's become a dual threat.
He really has. I mean, Josh Freeman is a prototypical pocket passer at 6'6", 250, can look over pressure, but he's the leading rusher, and his 13 rushing touchdowns are the most of any quarterback in the Big 12. He will also get the football down the field. The little Brandon Banks, though, 5'7", 142-pounder, that can go from 0 to 60 faster than anybody in college football. Logan Dold will be the main ball carrier. He went for 115 yards against Texas A&M earlier this year.
It's number 4 Oklahoma against Kansas State on Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by KFC. When we return, Michael Eaves and DeMarco Farr from our College Football Saturday studio. College Football Saturday is presented by KFC and the KFC $10 Challenge. Life tastes better with KFC. And brought to you in part by FreeCreditReport.com. Do you know your credit score? You can find out right now instantly and online at FreeCreditReport.com. And by Best Buy. You happier. Bill Snyder Family Stadium on the campus of Kansas State University is the Wildcats at 4-3, 1-2 in the Big 12. Come on, Oklahoma Sooners. 4th-ranked BCS, and they are 6-1 overall as we're set to go. And let's send it down to Jim Knox with Kansas State head coach Ron Prince.
Coach, how do you slow down Oklahoma's offense today? They're averaging 47 points per game.
Well, I think you got to stop the run. I know they got a terrific quarterback and receiver, but if this offensive line and running back gets going, it's going to have a long day.
You're wearing an armband today. What is that to bring awareness to?
Well, there's a lot of good causes out there. This one is, coaches around the country are doing it. Coaches for the Cure, muscular dystrophy. There's a lot of good things that we can support, and this is one of them. So we wanted to do it today.
All right, best of luck. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you. And again, thanks to Ron Prince, Bill Land, Dave Lapham with you up top here. Beautiful day. Going to warm up to the mid-60s, they say. Yeah, wind's always a factor out here in central Kansas. And the K-State fans are geared up as Matthew Moreland tees it up and ready to kick it off for the Oklahoma Sooners. And Aubrey Quarles is the deep man for Kansas State. Quarles taking a step back in the end zone. 10, 15. Breaks through to the 20 with a flag thrown. Flag is down as he is brought down by Keenan Clayton of Oklahoma.
You got an illegal block in the back on Kansas State that's going to cost them field position. They'll be at half the distance to the goal, the 11-yard line probably, or inside of it.
Block in the back during the return, number 36. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
So that'll set him back. Let's take a look at the KFC starting lineup here for, first of all, the offense of the Kansas State Wildcats and the big fellas up front, Prince, Unruh, Kendall, Benoit, and Stringer, the veteran junior out of Topeka, Kansas. The wideouts, you saw Quarles on the kick return. And beware of Banks. He's tiny but explosive, 5'7", and he's got 34 grabs for 668 yards so far. Quarterback Josh Freeman takes the snap, 1st and 10 from the 11 following the penalty. Freeman got time here and got a man and complete for a 1st down out near the 26-yard line as Jackson makes the tackle. And Josh Freeman coming in, a junior out of Kansas City Grandview High School. And not only their leading rushers, Dave mentioned, you see the passing numbers, 1,746 yards. That is 19th in the nation.
Well, he's on track for 22 rushing touchdowns, 21 passing. He'd be the second guy in college football history to go 20-20 in that department. Tim Tebow did it last year when he won the Heisman.
Deion Murphy, the receiver on that first down reception, picking up 15. Here it is 1st and 10, and out of the backfield is Dold. Dold is stopped just across the 25-yard line by Dominique Franks as we take a look at the Oklahoma defense. English, Taylor, McCoy, and Beal. English playing great ball. The linebackers, Clayton. Botts gets the start now. Harris filled in last week. He's now in the secondary again at safety. Of course, they're without Ryan Reynolds, who got hurt in the Texas game on a severe blow to an Oklahoma defense that allows 20.7 points a game, 3rd in the league, 42nd in the nation. We saw Brent Venable strolling the sideline, former K-State player standout and assistant coach. A lot of ties between the OU and the K-State group. Here is Freeman, so dangerous on the run, has the first down. Just shy of the 40-yard line, Lindy Holmes makes the tackle. We're seeing more of this from him, Dave.
Well, Oklahoma, they decided to try to blitz Josh Freeman. What you have to do when you blitz him is you have to get him on the ground. 6'6", 250 with a big lower trunk. Hard to get down on the ground, in pocket or out of pocket. Reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger with the Steelers. Big in the pocket. I tell you, the only guys bigger than him are the defensive tackles for Oklahoma. He's bigger than everybody else in the field on the defensive side of it.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Opening drive for Kansas State. Play action to Dold. Freeman dodges a defender. Got a block and steps out of bounds about the 43-yard line. And in this, the year of the quarterback in the Big 12, everybody's setting records. Here's what's on the table today for Freeman, tied with Bishop in touchdown passes and needs 2 to surpass L. Roberson, who, of course, the star back here, 02-03.
The amazing thing, I don't think anybody that observes college football would have expected that Josh Freeman would have 13 on the ground and 12 in the air at this stage of the season. He has become a huge weapon on the ground in the red zone.
Yeah, only player in Division I with that balance and scoring. This one just off the fingertips of Brandon Banks, and he would have had plenty of room to roam as we take a look at the Days Inn scouting report here for this afternoon's ball game.
Well, what Kansas State has to do is what they've done to a lot of people. Non-offensive touchdown, either special teams or defense. Since 2006, they've got 22 of those, most in the nation. They need an explosive play. Oklahoma gives up the fewest first downs in the conference, and they can't turn it over. They have to value possessions. They need extra possessions. They can't give any additionals to Oklahoma's explosive offense.
Valentine in the backfield as well this time as Freeman tosses complete at midfield. Impressive opening drive here. Ernie Pierce, the receiver. Pierce, his 7th reception of the year. Travis Lewis, the leading tackler on the Oklahoma defense, with 69 coming in.
The only problem Kansas State has is they started at the 11-yard line. If this were normal field position, they'd be in scoring range right now. With that completion, they just now have crossed midfield. Ernie Pierce catches the football. They started because of the penalty, illegal block in the back, at their own 11-yard line. So that long field, how big a factor will it be in this first drive?
And they've got the weapon and kicker, Brooks Rossman, who had a 53-yarder in the loss to Colorado last week.
Rarefied air.
Freeman in trouble, and it is picked off. The Sooners bring it back on the INT. Lewis, and he is inside the 30, down near the 25-yard line. And English put the pressure on him, and Travis Lewis comes up with his 2nd interception of the year.
You know, Josh Freeman, unfortunately, Austin English does a good job of, as the ball's going air, as he's in his throwing motion, which he can't stop it at this point. Austin English should get a big assist on that interception because he is all over the arm of Josh Freeman. This kind of play can cause injury to elbow and shoulder. I saw it with Carson Palmer earlier this season. When you're in the throwing motion and somebody hits your arm like that, If you're not big, strong guy, even big, strong guys can have damage to their throwing arm. Looks like Josh Freeman came away without any damage other than the turnover, which is big damage early in this game.
Return to the 26, OU with this quick strike and up-tempo offense. What do they do out of the chute? Murray. Stuffed after a yard or two. KFC gives you the Oklahoma starting lineup, and we pick it up with the big folks up front. That means load hold, as well as Robinson, Cooper, Walker, and Trent Williams, who they say is playing the best of the bunch lately. Murray had a comeback game after a soft outing against Texas. Here he gets the ball again to start this series. 20 and out of bounds near the 17-yard line. DeMarco Murray for the University of Oklahoma, the Sabra Las Vegas. Sam Bradford. The numbers become mind-boggling after a while when you see what this guy has posted.
Yeah, he's second in the country in pass efficiency with those numbers. He led the nation last year in pass efficiency, completing over 71% of his passes, and a lot of it is because he gets it out of his hands so quickly. 6 straight games of 300+. Here's Murray, the 10, the 5, and down near the goal line, it'll be a first and goal as Courtney Herndon made the tackle. And we'll take a look at the K-State defense that is about to be scored upon as you take a look at the folks up front. Sometimes a 3-4, sometimes 4-3. Rebeck as well as Hall. And in the secondary, Moore, Herndon, and Hartman and Irvin. You know, turnover is exactly what Kansas State wanted to avoid, and unfortunately they didn't.
Murray again. Stopped this time on a first and goal from the 2. Well, Oklahoma got its running game back last week against Kansas in just a wild 4-hour marathon as they had 206 yards rushing to go along with Bradford's huge passing day.
And DeMarco Murray's starting to get some of his confidence back, Bill. You know, there's a psychological deal about getting over the knee injury, and now he's starting to make some cuts with those reflexes.
Here he is again. Murray trying to get in the end zone. He does. DeMarco Murray had 16 carries, 83 yards against Kansas. He got the benefit of Matt Platt's block, and he scores the touchdown here, and Oklahoma takes the early lead.
Well, Oklahoma's now been in the red zone 37 times. They have 35 touchdowns. That is unbelievable. They've got a field goal tacked on as well. They've not scored points just one time in 36 red zone opportunities. And again, 37 red zone opportunities. Again, 35 of them are touchdowns.
Jimmy Stevens for the PATs, 44-46 in the point after attempts. And he is good on this one. So Oklahoma takes advantage of the turnover and is on the board 7-0 on our Big 12 College Football Saturday game of the week. Josh Freeman, number 1 there, had a streak of 147 passes thrown without an interception until Lewis took care of business to set up this play.
And English is the guy that got it done. Austin English with the incredible pressure. Josh Freeman in his throwing motion is hit. Travis Lewis picks it off. Then DeMarco Murray shows that he's back. Nice run to set up this little plunge of 2 yards to put Oklahoma on the board. The problem that Kansas State had when they got themselves penalized, had a long field. Now you have to run a lot of plays against Oklahoma, and that's what they want, because the more plays you run, the more chance you have of making a mistake. And ultimately, Josh Freeman, because of the pressure from Austin English, had the mistake, and that caused the turnover. And that's only the 3rd interception of the season for Josh Freeman. 12 touchdown passes now, 3 interceptions.
Moreland with the kickoff. Quarles again, the return man from the 2. 15. And Quarles is wrapped up at the 22-yard line. J.R. Bryant takes care of it. And talking about pass efficiency, and Freeman, you mentioned those numbers here with a lack of interceptions. Look at the improvement this guy has made.
Yeah, his graph is going straight up. You're looking at the maturation of a quarterback on a year-by-year basis. The more snaps that he takes, the more comfortable he feels, just like anything else. Repetition breeds comfort level. And Josh Freeman, physically, mentally, is a much better quarterback than when he first came on campus, as you would expect, and his numbers show it.
Dole in the backfield on a 1st and 10 from the 22. Freeman got hit just as he unloaded, and that was nearly picked off in the secondary as Oklahoma's Brian Jackson had a look at McCoy with the pressure. What about Ron Prince, the head coach of the Cats? Here's his comments on his quarterback.
It means a lot to us from a running and passing standpoint, but also from a leadership standpoint. Here's a kid who's been there, he's competed, he's done well, and he's had his moments where it hasn't been great. And I think everybody looks at him and knows that no one's doing it under as much scrutiny as he is. And so I think his poise and the way he handles it is really comforting to the rest of the team and really inspiring.
Freeman connects with Pierce on this play. Franks makes the tackle, and K-State now down 7-0 and will be faced with a 3rd and 6 from the 26.
You know what the biggest improvement that I've seen in Josh Freeman over the years is in his footwork. The decision making obviously as well, but everything starts with your feet. You know, a quarterback is accurate if he has good footwork and you're going with your feet to the target. That's the bottom line.
See, Freeman's working the early going. That pick was huge, though. This one well short of the first down as Pierce is tackled by Travis Lewis. And they'll have to kick it away. And this has been a part of the K-State special teams that are very good in some areas, but they've struggled a bit in the punting game. And they'll bring on DJ Fulhag, sophomore from Beloit, Kansas, averaging 37.5 a kick.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do after you turn it over and give your defense a short field to defend, and they can't, and they go down 7-0 as a team, is go 1, 2, 3 and out. Now Oklahoma comes roaring back at you.
Fulhag gets it off. Franks, the deep man, averages 6.6 per return. He's got a little room here at the 39. They close quickly, and he is brought down at the 41-yard line. We'll be right back with more. Kansas State trailing Oklahoma 7-0. Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by KFC as Oklahoma's DeMarco Murray gets the opening touchdown, and Oklahoma's second series now. Murray had every play, 5 carries, 26 yards after that interception for a TD. Bradford yet to throw it. We'll see what they do on their second series, Dave, as Brown is in the backfield now.
Now Oklahoma's outscored the opposition in the first quarter 124-13. Ridiculous. 124-13. Wow.
Out of the gun. 10 on the play clock. Bradford. Deflected. Let's check in with Michael Eaves in the game break.
All right, guys, let's check in on number 8, Texas Tech, number 23, Kansas. Graham Harrell already with 2 touchdown passes. Make it 3. Squeezes it into the end zone to Eric Morris. Just a ho-hum day for Graham Harrell. 12 of 13 with those 3 touchdowns. By the way, the PAT kicker, he's 3 for 3 today, guys.
What a dandy that is over in Lawrence today, as Texas Tech trying to remain unbeaten before their big battle with the University of Texas next week.
And we saw the kicker struggle with PATs last week against A&M. So maybe they got something squared away. They're actually able to execute extra points.
3rd down and 11. Empty backfield here. Oklahoma's so dangerous, they can put out so many different formations. The players are so flexible. Timeout. Timeout. Oklahoma called a timeout at the last moment.
Bob Stoops was sprinting down the sideline. You can call it from the sideline. He wanted it badly.
Former K-State assistant. So far, so good on his homecoming here. Almost to Halloween. Oklahoma leading Kansas State 7-0. How about our days in scouting report here for the Sooners?
Well, they want to avoid a negative play. No tackles for loss, no quarterback sacks allowed. They've done that. They want to pressure the quarterback. Josh Freeman, they've done that. They got an interception off the pressure. They want to be big on 3rd down. Defensively, they're only allowing 28%, 7th best in the nation, best in the Big 12.
3rd and 11 here, following the timeout. Bradford, good protection, complete, first down. Iglesias, he may be gone. He's to the 30. Iglesias run out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Herndon makes the stop as Iglesias, number 2 on the OU career receiving charts, tacks another big play.
Well, the problem is you got to tackle. Blair Irvin missed the tackle. And once the catch is made, that's one thing, but Blair Irvin has to get him on the ground. I mean, sure, first down reception, sure, but not the extra 30 yards that he got after catch. Yards after catch were due to the missed tackle by Blair Irvin. Joaquin Iglesias took full advantage of it like any great player would.
48 yards on the pass play, and it sets up 1st and 10 from the 12. Brown dances right through the middle, bowls his way, and no signal yet. Saying just shy of going into the end zone and breaking the plane, as Chris Brown, the junior from Alexandria, Louisiana, was looking for his 8th touchdown.
Well, when the knee hits the ground, where's the football in the left hand? A vertical line to the ground. He's down before the ball crosses the plane of the goal line. His knee is down. Good call, just short.
1st and goal. Bradford keeps it himself, and Oklahoma in for the touchdown as the Sooners, a quick 13-0 lead with 7:16 to go in this first quarter, and Bradford gets his 3rd score of the year.
Well, Bradford is the beneficiary of Chris Brown hammering it up in there to the shadow of the goal line, and then he cozies up behind the left side of the offensive line, and that's a smart thing to do. Duke Robinson, 6'5", 335. Phil Lodeholt, 6'8", 337. That's a massive humanity right there. And Bradford said, I'm going to ride that wave into the end zone.
Stevens, the point after. It is good. And Oklahoma now up 14-0. They took advantage of the turnover for the short score, and then they get a stop, and they take a drive with a big play to Iglesias for 48 to set up Bradford's touchdown. Our winning touch flashback is brought to you by New Touch of Gray for the generation that swore it would never get old. Sooners won the national title in 2000, but first they had to beat Kansas State in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. Quarterback Josh Heupel led the Sooners attack. He had 24 of 44 for 220 yards and a pair of TDs. This one a 17-yarder to Andre Woolfolk. And the Sooners take care of the Wildcats 27-24 and headed off to the Orange Bowl. Of course, Josh Heupel on this coaching staff now, and Bradford is week by week shattering most of his records.
Right, and you know, he's happy about that. Records are meant to be broken, and nothing better than coaching the kid that's breaking them, you know. So you set them, and now you coach the kid up that's breaking them. And now the first quarter numbers, as Josh Heupel talks, backup quarterback Halsey right there. The numbers in the first quarter, 131 points for Oklahoma to 13 for the opposition. 131 to 13 and counting. Unreal.
And this is game 8. Just absolutely amazing. It's Groundhog Day for the opponent. It just, here it comes. We've seen it week after week.
Kansas scored the first touchdown against Oklahoma last week in the first quarter that they've given up.
Murphy on the return. He breaks through the 30, 35, 40.
Wow.
Murphy may go. One man to try to knock him out. And he does. Murphy down near the 20-yard line.
Oh, the Achilles heel for Oklahoma rears its ugly head again. University of Cincinnati took a kickoff return back for a touchdown. Texas took a return back for a touchdown. Kansas State comes within an eyelash of doing the same thing. Not getting off the blocks and losing the lane integrity. You have to stay in your cover lanes. Oklahoma, they bunch up behind each other in the cover lanes, and Murphy gets hauled down from behind on a tackle up at the shoulder pads by Sam Proctor.
Here is Kansas State and Murphy
on a punt return.
Yeah, punt return of 80 plus.
Yeah, you got to lose ground sometimes to gain ground. He gives up some yards. Louisville thinks they have him hemmed in. He says, nah, baby, nah. I'm taking it to the house.
He is 4th in the league in punt return average, 11.1. 75-yarder here, and it sets up 1st and 10 at the 20. Gold, the running back behind Freeman. Oh, just knocked away. Intended for Mastroud, and that would have been a TD. Jackson, a nice play. Brian, a junior out of DeSoto, Texas, has got 5 broken up passes and 1 interception on the season.
Well, we saw Kansas State in yesterday's practice run this route in the red zone a few times, and it worked to Mastroud every time. But Oklahoma a little bit quicker breaking on the football. Good route recognition and break to the ball.
Freeman. Things got closed in a hurry near the line of scrimmage as Lewis makes the tackle.
Well, with Josh Freeman in the red zone here, Bill, they've got quarterback counter, they've got quarterback draw, they have a quarterback run package. And again, coming into today's game, number 1, Josh Freeman, the leading rusher on this football team, and by far the leading touchdown maker on the ground with 13, leading all Big 12 quarterbacks and a whole bunch of running backs in the Big 12 as well.
Yeah, last year he was minus 40 in the rushing game, 4 touchdowns. So it's a whole different package that he brings now. And it's 3rd and 10 here. Got time. Out of the backfield, Dole, 15. Hammered out of bounds inside the 10, and that means you'll have a first and goal for the Kansas State Wildcats, tackled by Beal.
Oh, they blitzed Lindy Holmes out of the secondary. They brought the safety, number 11. Here he comes right here on the backside. Can't get there in time. Get it out of the backfield, and a nice little arrow route run right there by Gold, and takes it up for positive yards.
Give him 12 yards officially on the play, and a first and goal now from the 8-yard line.
Back pass.
Pass from Dole in the end zone. He catches it.
Out of bounds.
Touchdown. Touchdown, Murphy.
I thought he got the right foot out of bounds before he got the left foot one down, but he didn't. And they've been working on that play as well. A little halfback option pass. Dole to Murphy. This touchdown set up by a kickoff return by Murphy. And then he finishes. He goes airborne. Oh, left foot. The left foot just in before the right foot comes down. Oh, that's right. That's right on the edge of it. And they are taking a look at it before the ball was snapped. They're going to review this. Did the left foot come down inside the 5-yard marker, that white 5-yard marker around the goal line, around the end zone?
And again,
looks like Bob Stoops might be challenging the way he's talking to the official.
We want to remind folks again, because sometimes you get confused with the NFL and college football. In college football, they're reviewing every play.
Is being challenged by Oklahoma.
And in this case, the booth obviously didn't see anything to warrant a longer look. But Bob Stoops didn't fool around. He said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and challenge.
And remember,
to see if the foot is in bounds or not.
He's got possession. We know that. He does possess the football, so there's no juggling act going on. Watch the left foot. He drags it. Is it in? Ooh, it is. You can see green. You can see green outside of the toe right there. That's a great shot. I think he's got possession, or does he have possession as well? The ball's rolling a little bit, but I think they're going to say possession and catch. Remember, the call on the field is huge. The call on the field, there has to be indisputable evidence to overturn it. And the call was touchdown. Is there evidence to overturn that? And it looked like Murphy did a great job of dotting the I, a little, dragging that left foot and getting it down before he hit that 5-yard out of bounds marker, which is plenty big to see in the contrast with.
Murphy, a junior out of Houston, Texas, Klein Forest High School, and if it stands, his 3rd TD reception of the year. Of course, he set this whole thing up with a 75-yard kick return. And if Freeman gets credit here, he will move past Michael Bishop and move into a tie for all-time career touchdown tosses with L. Roberson.
After further video review, the play is confirmed.
And I beg your pardon, of course, it was Dole that threw that, not Josh Freeman. And the TD stands.
Not enough evidence to overturn. Now Dole does a good job. He throws a little bit of a knuckleball, but he's under duress. And he gets it off. It's to the back corner of the end zone. Great play by Murphy. You can't emphasize it enough. Just an outstanding effort. I think Jeremy Beal was putting the heat on Dole, and Dole got it away, and it turned into a big play. The halfback option pass on the little gadget gimmick scores.
And the kick after by Brooks Rossman, senior out of San Diego, and he takes care of business, transferred from Ohio U, and he is now 35 of 36. Dole with the TD pass to Murphy, and it's 14-7. And Dole, an outstanding high school player at Garden Plain, Kansas, where he threw for 787 yards and 7 touchdowns. Meanwhile, he had rushing in his career, 7,144 yards, and number 2 all-time in Kansas history. So they work on it. One thing about Ron Prince, he said, we're going to work on this stuff, we're going to use it. And it happens in their special teams, and it happens here with the halfback pass.
Yeah, he went to the gadget gimmick play, and he also, on the special teams, didn't get that non-offensive score I was talking about, but that big kickoff return by Murphy set it up. And Dole rushed for all those yards, 7,100+ yards. His senior year, he was on a state championship team, so he didn't play very much in the 4th quarter at all, and he played sparingly in the 3rd quarter. So if he had played the second half of those games his senior year, he would have shattered the Kansas rushing record. So very accomplished high school player. Here he is as a true freshman at Kansas State. putting a touchdown pass up on the board, as well as now he scored on the ground in his career. Now he scored in the air with a touchdown pass to Murphy.
So Murphy, the TD, and now Oklahoma will get their hands back on the football. We knew with the special teams would be big.
That's a nice
onside kick, and Oklahoma's going to recover at the 49-yard line.
Oh man, I'll tell you, the onside, the kicker initially comes to approach the football and falls down intentionally, and the onside kick specialist, who does a great job, Jared Parker. I mean, he cut the initial kicker falls down intentionally coming to the football, and Jared Parker, who is the onside specialist, tries his best, and Oklahoma does a good job of recovering the football. That's a good job by Oklahoma reacting, because watch the kicker fall down intentionally. Jared Parker tries to get it airborne. It's that second bounce. What a nice, clever scheme. Didn't quite work.
Brown on the first carry. He breaks to the 40, the 35. Brown still going. And he takes it down inside the 20 near the 15-yard line before Reggie Walker, a senior from Sacramento, California, makes the stop.
Well, the Oklahoma Sooners want to establish the ground game today. They've struggled a little bit in their running game. Today they are absolutely gashing Kansas State.
Now Murray on the pass play. 10, 5, Murray, touchdown Oklahoma. How about that for an answer? Oh, mama.
2 plays. Jeez. Unbelievable. What an offensive machine this football team is. And it's the tempo. And they start, as a defensive player, you start to fatigue. You can't get off the field. I mean, it's like a tsunami. Oklahoma's back up at the line of scrimmage, and they're coming at you again. And the big offensive line is imposing its will on the Kansas State front 7. And they're just rolling them off the line of scrimmage right now, Bill.
15 yards on the play. And Oklahoma, with Bradford getting the TD pass, his 27th of the season, and this one is good by Stevens, and it's now 21-7, 5:25 to go first quarter, and Chris Brown started, Murray finished.
Yeah, and they're so versatile. Murray, there's Chris Brown in the backfield. Murray is lined up out of the backfield. That's the versatility we're talking about. Where's Waldo? Murray is out there as a slot receiver. Catches the football, whoop, make you miss a little bit, and that's a pretty good athlete out there. And Tyson Hartman, he made Hartman miss in space. You know, Murray can play more than one spot for you. So can Gresham. They can go, Bill, from the same personnel. They can spread the field, spread you out, and then they can come close between the hash marks, play big boy ball, and everything in between without making one substitution personnel-wise. Bob Stoops working to get his team fired up. Their offense is in high gear right now with all those versatile players.
Mentioned for Stoops, a homecoming of sorts. Of course, he was part of Bill Snyder's staff here as Kansas State came from the ashes to build a terrific program. Here's the 1990 staff.
Right. And there's Bob right there, future head coach at Oklahoma. There's Mark Mangino right there, future head coach at Kansas. There's Mike Stoops right there, future head coach at Arizona. And there's Levitt right there, future head coach at South Florida. So you got a coaching tree extraordinaire of that 1990 staff.
And Dana Dimmel was on that staff as well, who went to Wyoming and Houston as a head coach. So there was a reason. Other than good players, they had great coaching here to help build this program. Murphy deep here, going to bring it out. 10. And corralled at the 15. Let's send it down to our sideline man, Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Bill. I tell you what, the biggest coach right now on the sidelines for Oklahoma, Manuel Johnson. Sitting this one out, as Dave Lapham told you earlier, dislocated left elbow. But I tell you what, when he came off the field, the offensive unit gave Sam Bradford a nice high five. Glacius a nice high five, and he's right there now talking it up with Murray. So Manuel Johnson doing a lot of work on the sidelines today. He said last week when I talked to him before the game, he thought the arm was broken. He's just going to be out 2 weeks, guys.
Knoxy, that's Manny being Manny right there, showing some team leadership and boosting his boys up.
Yeah, like this Manny being Manny. Yeah. There is Freeman sliding to the 21st yard line, where Gerald McCoy, the sophomore from Oklahoma City, makes the tackle. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
Boy, Manuel Johnson went on a tear, Billy. Had 7 touchdown catches in a 3-week time frame. I bet he wishes he were playing today with the way the offense is executing.
Yeah, they have looked just outstanding. As it become the norm of this club, Dold on the carry, Lewis makes the tackle. What is it, 17 different receivers he's thrown to this season? So,
right.
But this guy is a great player, but you wouldn't know that they're missing it.
No, that's true. I mean, they're so deep at the skill positions. Coming into the game, Bradford had 170 completions to 17 different receivers, 26 touchdown passes to 7 different guys coming into today's game.
Now Freeman trying to see if he can counter. He hands this one off to Murphy, scored the last touchdown, and he is tackled near the 22.
Tried the fly sweep right there, a little motion, bringing the receiver across the backfield, and to no avail. Oklahoma plays their gap responsibilities to perfection.
Lewis with a tackle. Lewis, by the way, had 19 tackles against Texas this year. Not bad for a redshirt freshman. Franks is deep now as Fulhag will, we think, kick it away. Always pay attention to special teams, though, here at Kansas State. This one. K-State bounce taken by Franks, and fair caught apparently at the 40. Yeah, fair catch signal. So it'll be Oklahoma ball at the 41. Let's check in now with Michael Eaves for Game Break.
Yeah, guys, let's go to the SEC. Number 10, Florida hosting Kentucky. Tim Tebow takes a pretty good shot here, but gets it off to Percy Harvin for the score. Second touchdown of the game for Harvin. Florida leads at 28-0 in the first quarter. As a Kentucky alum, it pains me to say this, Florida's beaten Kentucky 21 straight times.
Oh man, Michael, that streak's got to end at some point. I thought Kentucky would give them a little bit better battle today, but it seems like the Tim Tebow-led Gators are hungry for that Kentucky Wildcat beat.
Michael, sounds like no one had to feed him that stat. He's like, oh no, it's going down again.
He's been living it.
Well, is Oklahoma going down again? Yes, they are. Wide open. Cheney, 25-20, hesitates for a moment, and then is brought down at the 10-yard line. Maybe the 11, a 49-yard pass play. Absolutely incredible. Moore brings him down.
Little play action pass. Pretty good job on blitz pickup accomplished on Chris Brown on the play action fake. And they are just getting yards in chunks. I mean, they are gashing the Kansas State secondary right now. The protection's outstanding. This one could get out of hand big time.
1st and 10 at the 11. Chris Brown, touchdown Oklahoma. Wow. Just shredding Kansas State. And the Sooners living up to that number 4 BCS ranking.
You know, you look at the way the defense is getting chewed up right here, and you think back to the great defenses of Kansas State in the 80s and 90s, and it's amazing that that right now Oklahoma is doing to this group. When you think of the history and tradition of the Kansas State defenses of the past, that you score in touch football right there, nobody laid a fingernail on them. The blocking was so outstanding.
Stevens, and it's good. 28-7. With 3:08 to go in the first quarter. Dave gave you those mind-boggling first quarter stats, and OU just adds to it. Don't forget, later today, College Football Saturday triple header presented by Suzuki and Acura continues as Colorado takes on 15th ranked Missouri. And that's followed by 5th ranked USC trying to stay in this BCS championship contention. And the Trojans take on upset-minded Arizona. And as Dave mentioned, coached by Mike Stoops, they're tied for first now in the Pac-10. Big year for Coach Stoops. Sanchez and Thomas, some of the key playmakers in that game.
Sanchez, big-time playmaker. He's come back from a dislocated kneecap earlier in the season, and he's leading the USC Trojans very efficiently. And Mike Thomas, over 6 catches a game. I mean, that's getting it done. Obviously, a prolific playmaker for Mike Stoops, and Mike Stoops is they're close to bowling, if not bowling. Arizona is, and that it's been a dry spell. And Mike Stoops right now, people are toasting him out there. About the Stoops family.
He's answering. You know, they beat Cal last week that was unbeaten previously in the Pac-10. And there's no secret. Like you said, his job is on the line, and he's answered big this year. Here is Murphy again for the return on the kick by Moreland. Murphy, 15, trying to cut outside. Oklahoma's coverage pretty good this time. And the stop is made at the 16 yards on the return. And all right, you're Ron Prince. You had the onside kick, didn't work. You had the halfback pass, it did. I mean, they're outmanned here right now. What do you do to just try to get the pace back, Dave?
Well, it's tough because it's not necessarily the chess match, Bill. It's the chess men. You know, I mean, Oklahoma's players there's more of them. They're bigger, faster, stronger, and you know it's tough to match up. I mean, football's all about matchups, and it's tough for Kansas State right now to match up with what Oklahoma presents.
Freeman. Pierce, the receiver, at the 20. Gang tackled near the 23-yard line. Dominique Franks makes the tackle.
What you have to do is no more turnovers. You have to go on a long, sustained drive right now and settle the game back down. Right now, the game is at a frenzied pace. The way Oklahoma is just scoring at will, and you have to curb that momentum. You know, offensively, you have to help your defense stay on the field, go on a long drive, and score.
2nd and 3. Freeman completes this one. Banks 30, turns it up.
Here he goes.
40, Banks stays in bounds.
There he goes.
He's at the 30. They won't catch the little man. Brandon Banks with a touchdown. And just like that, K-State says, here's how we answer a 72-yard play.
Man, I'll tell you what, forget the long sustained drive. Just put points on the board. And Banks, that's his 7th touchdown catch of the season. All of them have been over 30 yards. When he scores from long distance. Oklahoma blitz Keenan Clayton at the linebacker position. And Kansas State had the perfect call. The pass was completed to the zone that Keenan Clayton voided when he blitzed. And once he voided it, Banks made Oklahoma pay dearly.
Making a 77-yard run, and the point after is good by Rossman. And Kansas State trying to hang with these lofty Sooners. 28-14. Here's a look at it.
Well, that was the blitz that we saw right there. And that linebacker, that was the area that he would have been covering if he stayed back into coverage. And once the blitz occurred, Banks said, I'm in space. And that's what you got to try to do with this young man. Get him in space. You see the blitz, a good block on the edge, and now he just distorts everybody's football geometry. He busts all the angles. This guy, Josh Freeman, said how fast he was, how quick he was. Some kids are quick, some kids are fast. Banks is both, and that's rare. And how about he's averaging over 20 yards per reception now, because before that catch he was at 19.6.
Yeah.
It was Josh Freeman, now tied with El Roberson. He was tied with Michael Bishop at number 2. Now he's tied for the lead with 37 career touchdown passes and counting.
And that one, the short pass, the long run, and that's what Ron Prince was telling us, is that, hey, if we can just get him in any space,
right,
that he can break it. And there was just great proof of it. All he needed was just a little bit of an opening.
Well, what he has is a great understanding and awareness of where help is in coverage. And I think he saw the blitz. He saw Keenan Clayton blitz, and he knew he had potential for a big play. It was like a long lateral. They got him in space in the running game. He made people miss.
And the kick to Murray. Murray's got some room. 30. And out near the 40-yard line. Irvin the tackle. Well, here's Ron Prince about his outstanding young receiver, Banks.
People are amazed at what he can do. They expect people who are 6'2" and maybe 190 to do some of those things. But this guy's a competitor. And that's what we saw on tape. That's what we've seen since he's been here. He's been a terrific contributor. And really one of the biggest factors has been, teams are recognizing that and doing everything they can to take him away.
So Banks, coming out of Bakersfield, a junior college, have produced a couple of K-State players in a big junior college recruiting class. He pays off here. Now, Oklahoma trying to answer again. Murray got stuffed inside, cuts it up the outside, picks up 4 or 5. We've still got 1:59 to go in the first quarter. I'm thinking, what's going on at halftime?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait a minute. It's 28-14.
I mean, this has been a track meet extraordinaire. Are you kidding me? That's only that's coming into today. Oklahoma had given up 1 first quarter touchdown. They've given up 2 in this one game.
2nd and 5. Bradford. Incomplete to Gresham. Another one of their huge playmakers, Jermaine Gresham, 6'6", 250 out of Ardmore, Oklahoma, a junior. He's got 6 TDs this year.
You know, Kansas State in the first quarter scored more points than they scored all last week against Colorado. They lose 14-13 up there, and they wish they had some of these points in this first quarter in that Colorado game. But they've been explosive themselves offensively.
Yeah, they're down a pair though. Oklahoma's had a 35-point first quarter before, and they need another one here to tie a record. Not going to happen on this 3rd and 5, though, as the pass play is brought down as Broyles is stopped by Carney. Chris Carney out of Denver, 6'1", 190, a junior, one of the captains of this defense for Von Prince. So they get the long pass play. They get a 3 and out now, Dave, and an opportunity to get the football back.
And Deion Murphy has proven himself to be a capable return guy. I'll tell you, a guy that I'd like to see return punts and kickoffs as well is Brandon Banks. We saw his acceleration. He gets from 0 to 60 quickly. Kansas State came after that one.
Yeah, Mike Knoll, the punter, his first of the day, and it goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it as far as exiting. K-State's going to get pretty good field position here, I think.
The 30-yard line, it looks like, or thereabouts. You know, sometimes they blocked a lot of kicks. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Ron Prince and the Kansas State program in general is known for blocking kicks. And sometimes you don't necessarily get a block, but the pressure that you generate is sometimes can be just as significant. They blocked 6 kicks.
7
kicks this year. Yeah, they blocked 4 punts, 2 extra points, and a field goal. They blocked the field goal last week, I believe.
Their record in a season is 8 back in 03. Dold in the backfield here. 1st and 10 from the 30 for Kansas State, down 28-14. Play action from Freeman. And he completes it out to the 35, and run out of bounds is Dold near the 40. Be 2nd and short, depending on the spot, it appears, as Keenan Clayton was there covering.
You know, they've since the Big 12, in the Big 12 era, Kansas State has blocked 48 kicks since the Big 12 has been formed. That's consistency year after year of doing the same thing.
2nd and 1 from the 39. Dold got the first down as he dives across the 40. Brian Jackson makes the tackle.
Well, you can tell right there that Dold does what he's told, because in short yardage run game, you put 2 hands on that football because you know that Oklahoma is going to try to get at the football, and they're a great strip team. I mean, Oklahoma, if the first guy hits you, tries to set you up for the next teammate to come in and strip you of the football. Dold has both hands wrapped around her neck there.
And Oklahoma +5 in the turnover margin coming in here. They Kansas State a -3, and their interception that Freeman tossed when he got hit led to Oklahoma's first score. 1st and 10 from the 40. Freeman cannot escape. Well, he's still on his feet.
Wow!
Freeman! Oh my! Just powers his way to the 45-yard line, and Beadle finally brought him down. 6'6", 250, and Josh Freeman delivering the punishment.
Well, that's what I was talking about in the open when we talked about get him on the ground. He's as big as anybody on the football field except the 2 defensive tackles. I mean, Austin English gave him a shot. He's as bigger than Austin English. I mean, his body type is he's put together with a big lower body. You can't wrap him up. It's like trying to take a sequoia down to the turf. He's big in pocket and out of it.
One away to end the first quarter with a score: Oklahoma 28, Kansas State 14. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by KFC. Welcome back. Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by KFC. Bill and Dave Lapham up top. Jim Knox roaming the sidelines, and an offensive explosion here as we take a look at our game summary. Just absolutely amazing, the huge plays taking place, Dave.
You look at it, Oklahoma, 17 touches for 203 yards. 90 on the ground, 113 in the air. Banks with a big play. Average per play, Oklahoma 11.7, and Kansas State just under 8. I mean, that's a track meet. It's not a baton, it's a football track meet.
373 yards of offense in the first quarter for these 2 teams. 203 from Oklahoma, as Kansas State trying to come from a 2-touchdown deficit, and after that Inspirational run by Freeman. The handoff here gets up much, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
You're tracking for a 1,200-yard game for Oklahoma. I mean, that's craziness. You know, 42 points scored in that first quarter. Literal track meet. Don't want to get in a track meet if you're Kansas State.
Oklahoma fans saying we saw this a week ago with Kansas when they had 697 yards. This one complete after being deflected. It's Murphy, and Franks was there.
Yep, Franks deflected it, and Murphy caught it. I mean, it's just, that's the way this game is now. You know, the final first quarter numbers, Oklahoma's outscored their opponents 145-27 in the first quarter. And here's how this game is going. Franks does the tip drill, and Murphy is the one that can get to the ball first. Although a good effort by Jackson, but Murphy's in better position, and he gets there before Jackson can from Oklahoma.
26 yards on the pickup, and Dold in the backfield now for a 1st and 10 from the 29. Freeman across the middle, and it's going to be another touchdown. Mastrud. K-State answers.
Austin Box went for the interception and missed. When Austin Box gambled, it was snake eyes. And Josh Freeman now sets the record. Josh Freeman sets the record, 38 touchdown passes in his career. And his last 2 touchdown passes to tie it and to take the career lead have been spectacular. But Austin Box, you know, when you gamble, son, it's 50-50. You know, if Mastrud makes the catch, Mastrud, and you get him on the ground, that's one thing. You can't let him take it to the house like he did.
And Rossman on to try to make it 28-21, and he does. So the record setter, Josh Freeman, career touchdown pass leader at Kansas State, a 29-yarder to Mastrud. 28-21, Oklahoma's lead just 7 now. (28-21) Sooners by 7 over Kansas State. The Cats the last 2 scores. Banks a 77-yard pass from Freeman, and then Freeman a 29-yarder to Mastrud, and now the all-time career touchdown passer in Kansas State history, Josh Freeman, just a junior, and he's brought his Wildcats from what at one stage 28-7 you're thinking, whoa, they're in huge trouble, and they were. They're right back in the thick of it. Iglesias will watch this one sail out of bounds, and we'll send it back to the studio for Michael Eaves in a game break.
All right, guys, let's go back to Lawrence, number 8, Texas Tech, number 23, Kansas. Graham Harrell already with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Make it 4, 2 of them to Eric Morris. The Red Raiders up 35-14. And check out those stats, 22 of 25, 247 yards in the first half, guys.
High scoring all over the Big 12. It is the land of offense this year. Murray in the lineup here with the 1st and 10 from the 20. Murray, 20, got a block, 30, bumped out of bounds on the Oklahoma sideline near the 34-yard line. Good block that time by, I think, Chaney to wideout.
Yep, he did a nice job on the edge, and when a run breaks for nice yards, usually somebody does a good job on the perimeter, and everybody does a good job inside, and then on the edge there was Chaney fighting his tail off.
Murray stopped by Reggie Walker this time. And this Oklahoma offensive explosion, not a surprise when you look at how they rank nationally. Passing 3rd, points sitting in the top 3 as well. Going deep here, Iglesias battling down there with Joshua Moore, the sophomore from Pompano Beach, Florida.
You know, Oklahoma, again, the versatility that they've got personnel-wise. They don't have to substitute to change the entire look of the formation because the athleticism, aggression, Murray and others.
Brown and Clapp in the backfield. Bradford, who's so far today 4 of 7, 113 yards and 1 TD.
113 yards on 4 completions. Unreal. Now you give up a first down because you jump.
Dead ball offside. Number 52, defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now, you can't listen to the quarterback and he coming off the field to be told about it. You have to move when the ball moves. You can't be listening to the quarterback, and that's exactly what took place for Stewart. And Stewart exits stage left.
Xavier Stewart. So 1st and 10 at the 49. Brown forges ahead near the 47.5-yard line of Kansas State. Ian Campbell, senior award winner out of Cimarron, Kansas, with a tackle. First team all-conference a year ago, coming in with 22 tackles.
There's Josh Heupel doing the signaling, and it looks like an air traffic controller out there, doesn't it?
Oh, Brown looked like he was going to be down about 5 yards ago, and still moves the chains.
Well, this is as good as I've seen the Oklahoma offensive line look in terms of coming off the ball and sustaining blocks. I mean, it looks like they've got Velcro on their helmets and hands. Kansas State can't get off the blocks.
Heupel joking last week that he was signaling in running plays to Bradford when Bradford was closing in on his passing record. And he said, Bob was overruling me over there. I was going, wait a minute. He's got a great relationship, obviously with Coach Stewart, but with his quarterback, Sam Bradford. They're really making some magic there for Oklahoma. Brown again gets the carry. Well, Oklahoma, they spread it out with these backs. Murray got all 5 carries on the opening series in the short touchdown drive. Now they're going primarily with Brown. Murray's got a TD. Brown's got a TD. In fact, Murray's got 2. And Bradford has scored 1. Here's Murray in the lineup here.
Kevin Wilson does a great job in his play calling, and looked like Oklahoma moved. False start, that's going to cost him 5. Flinched a little bit up front.
Head ball, false start, offense. Number 47, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
When Kevin Wilson was at Nebraska, he started with this spread offense, and Kevin does a great job. He got the offense from Rich Rodriguez at Clemson, and he's developed it and refined it. Now he's going up tempo, and they've got scheme, style, tempo, and great players. And you can't ask for much more than that if you're Kevin Wilson.
2nd and 14, and Murray. And Oklahoma looking at a Kansas State defense that has been giving up 429 yards a game, 105th in the NCAA, and OU looking at it, you know what, we can pass it, we can run it, we can do whatever we want, and they have been. 3rd and 8 here. Again, Murray. This time, K-State defense answers, and the crowd helps as Ian Campbell leads for the play.
Yeah, the entire playbook open to Josh Heupel right now, and when that's the case, you know, you can just about call anything, but Kansas State rose up on that 3rd and long to run the pitch, and man.
Look at Murray, the right shoe.
He's got a blowout. He's got half a flat tire. I mean, and he trips and falls because of it. His heel was exposed, and he couldn't get the traction and the explosion and the suddenness that he needed to make the cut. He had to retread. He had to make a pit stop, and he couldn't do it.
It's only good for 5,000 miles, and they had that in the 1st quarter. Fair catch is called on the punt, and nicely done by Nall. He's outstanding in the short kicking game, and Oklahoma has got him in a hole here, 28-21. College Football Saturday is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. By Days Inn, the best value under the sun. And the First Down Markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop for the company that supports college football. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
Welcome to the Big 12 Track and Field Championships.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Dave, yesterday we were all over this place, and the K-State track's not more than about 150 yards from here. They just might want to move it over there because it's officially a track meet.
Oh, I mean, between these two football teams offensively, Bill, they're averaging almost a first down per touch, per play.
Absolutely incredible. And now K-State in a hole, as after that punt by Nall, they start 1st and 10 from their own 3-yard line. Dole lines up on the S in the end zone. Freeman under center this time. Boy, nice poise, and they may break it here. Out to the 20-yard line. Murphy on the reception. He was nearly gone.
Great protection for Josh Freeman. He stood in the pocket tall and had plenty of time. A little pivot route. Again, taking a bad angle, trying to make a too big a play. You know, Nick Harris tried to undercut it, but the protection was outstanding. Austin English getting there a little bit too late. Oklahoma's gambling a little too much on those undercuts, taking tough angles in the secondary and at the linebacker level.
18 yards on that pickup. Get some a little more breathing room, and they hand off the football here on a 1st and 10 from the 21. And Granger, DeMarcus Granger makes the tackle. Granger's coming back from some injury situation. Oklahoma's starting to get healthier, even though they do not have the services of Manny Johnson today. And of course Reynolds is out for the season, but otherwise they're starting to get some guys back.
Kansas State's offensive line only giving up 4 sacks on the season, Bill, which is tied for second fewest in the country in terms of sacks per pass attempt.
And last week, you got Reesing of Kansas 5 times on sacks. Freeman avoids this one. Deep. Down to the 15 and a flag.
It's offensive pass interference. You had holding him off.
Pierce.
Yep, Pierce pushed him off to make the play. I think Pierce pushed with the hand to get separation, and I think the official's going to flag him for offensive OPI. I don't know, unless he saw Oklahoma on the other side of it pushing back, but Pierce definitely pushed off.
Pass interference. Defense.
In Oklahoma.
John Harris.
They were both pushing.
Yeah, I was with you. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, as you get it down the football field, watch Pierce right here push, and right here he's going to push big. They both get their hands on each other.
Yeah.
He pushes to separate. It's a no call, really. I don't think you call interference either way. Both guys pushing with their arms. A little bit of a tug of war there, but Pierce gets the big play. How about rebounding from this poor field position?
61 yards. Freeman to keep it. And I won't jump the gun and say he's tackled until I see him on his knees.
I'm telling you.
Lewis brings it down this time inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you, Kansas State doing a great job in every phase of it. Josh Freeman, obviously a big threat in the red zone with those 13 rushing touchdowns. Incredible. But Kansas State's making contested catches. They're making great calls. Their offensive coordinator is on a great roll. Dave Brock is making great calls. Every time Oklahoma blitzes, he's hitting them right where they blitz from.
Freeman.
Wow, got him again.
Easy. Touchdown Murphy. Deion Murphy, and we are a point away from being tied. Unbelievable here in the Little Apple.
Well, Lindy Holmes blitzes for Oklahoma. And Lindy Holmes, the area that he was supposed to be in if he didn't blitz, that's where they ran the shallow cross. And the shallow cross was run to perfection. Watch Lindy Holmes come on the blitz, and now the shallow cross is where he blitzed from. And, man, I'll tell you what, on a roll as a play caller, once you get in that roll, Deion Murphy finalizes that one, but offensive coordinator Dave Brock take a bow.
Rossman booms it through. Let's just start all over.
How about this?
28, 8 minutes to go in the first half on College Football Saturday.
Coming up on the College Football Saturday halftime show, after 21 straight unanswered points, Kansas State's giving Oklahoma more than it wants today.
I guess somebody forgot to share the script with K-State. Oklahoma's supposed to win this game.
That and more, plus scores, highlights, and text time. There's the number. We'll see you at the half right now. Back out to Manhattan.
Thanks, Michael and DeMarco. Yeah, it was Oklahoma 28-7 with 3:08 to go in the first quarter, and near 8 minutes to go in the second, and a 3-touchdown pickup by Kansas State.
And the last touchdown drive, Bill, started at the 3-yard line, inside the 5-yard line, and they go 97 against Oklahoma's defense to score.
565 yards of offense these two have put up so far, and Murray will down it here, 1st and 10 from the 20, and Freeman continue to set the records.
Oh, yeah, and they're just catching him in the blitz. And right now, every time Oklahoma blitzes, the ball's being thrown to the vacated spot. Banks right there. This was the double blitz. Box can't get underneath Mastrud. That's the record-setting touchdown. Now on a shallow cross, Lindy Holmes blitzes. If he had dropped into coverage, he would have been right there. But the shallow cross by Murphy hits right where the every time they vacate a zone, an area of the field with a blitz, Kansas State has a play that exploits it. I'm telling you what, offensive coordinator Dave Brock on a big roll.
Murphy has scored 3 touchdowns today. Iglesias the other way, and it is knocked away. No flag as Joshua Moore covering on the play, and now the defense trying to play with a little spunk. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home with Overstock.com. At home with the O. 7:56 to go, first half. 28 apiece. Bradford out of the gun this time. He's got a man wide open.
No!
Broyles, 50, and brought down at the 49 of Oklahoma. Ryan Broyles, the redshirt freshman from Norman, is stopped by Reggie Walker. Arena football doesn't score like this.
This is truly remarkable. Kansas State blows coverage. Both defenders take the underneath receiver. Watch right here. 2 defenders here, and nobody covers to the next level down the football field.
A measly 29 yards in the pickup. Murray, 50, 45, leaps over a man, and Murray sprints down inside the 30-yard line.
What a tremendous block once again on the edge by Quentin Chaney. I mean, he did a tremendous job. He got a cut block, and that he hurdled right over that cut block. And on the edge, Gresham got the hook, and then down the field, hurdled right over Chaney's block.
Brown shakes a tackler, stumbles across the 25-yard line, and how explosive is this one? Look at this. It's a first down every play.
Yeah, every time the ball is touched, every snap of the football is move the chains.
2nd and 6 this time. Bradford looking, finding, and no, he did not have control of the football. Chaney, rather Broyles, and incomplete. Herndon covering on the play.
Broyles is an exceptional receiver and with great athletic abilities. And watch how he has to turn over the other shoulder for the football. It's thrown out over the outside shoulder. He was looking over the inside shoulder as he goes for the football away from the defender where he cannot make any kind of a play on the right whatsoever. Herndon could not make the diving catch and control the ball. Bradford threw it where his receiver is the only one that can make a play.
3rd and 6, crowd trying to urge the Wildcat defense on. Bradford all day, and Iglesias, he dropped the football. He was already peering to turn it upfield.
Yep, he was trying to determine which way to break away from Blair Irvin. Should I cut inside or outside? And you got to catch the football first. Right here, watch the action. You got to catch it before you start thinking about turning it up to the inside. He felt Irvin over his outside shoulder and was going to turn it inside to potentially score.
On a 4th and 6, Sooners say nothing about a field goal. They're going for it at the 24-yard line. It'd be a 41-yard field goal attempt.
Can't blame him for going for it, though.
Wow. Bradford zips it. Iglesias has the first down as he is hit hard, but hangs on near the 10-yard line as Blair Irvin, the cornerback, the junior from Patterson, Louisiana, and Chris Carney combined for the stop.
That's a good relationship between quarterback and receiver. Iglesias dropped the ball. What do? Go right back to him. You know, you say, hey, I trust in you. Iglesias, I'm going right back to you. Bradford did for a big first down and a 4th down conversion.
Out of the backfield, Murray put another 6 on the board. Oh, my. Unbelievable. It just, nobody can stop anybody. As Oklahoma back on top, 34-28.
Pamelli had coverage out of the backfield, and it was a no match. You know, linebacker covering remaining running back out of the backfield, and it's just a mismatch, and Pamelli has no shot at it. And all it is an easy pitch and catch for Bradford. How many times are we going to see the end zone pierce today? This is a tempo that's extraordinary.
And the point after is good by Stevens. Oklahoma 35-28, and DeMarco Murray, yeah, he's getting healthier, isn't he? Another TD. We'll be right back. Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, on the campus of Kansas State University, the site of our college football Saturday. What a doozy here. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, along with Jim Knox. And the BCS rankings, speaking of doozy, 4 Big 12 teams in the top 8, including #1 Texas.
50%. How about that? And Utah and Boise State. You know, it looks like they're going to be BCS qualifiers. And remember, only 2 from the Big 12 can go. So it's going to be very, very interesting how this all sorts itself out down the stretch.
Rankings presented by American Airlines, and the low kick, and Kansas State returns it. They'll have good field position here. Tomorrow night, be there live for the first show that breaks down the BCS standings, the official BCS rating show. Find out who's moving up, who's moving out, and who's moving on towards a berth in a BCS bowl game. The official BCS rating show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Yeah, the Big 12 has got 3 of the 9 remaining unbeaten teams nationally.
Right.
And they're all in the Big 12 South. So Oklahoma comes in here today, 4th in the BCS standings and 4th in the Big 12 South.
That says a lot right there, doesn't it? I mean, that speaks volumes for the conference.
You're in Aggie land as the Kansas State Wildcats trying to come back and see if they can tie it up. Freeman. Incomplete, intended for Murphy.
Austin English put a shot on Freeman after he released the football, just to let him know he's around. But Josh Freeman has shown a powerful throwing arm, and he's shown a big, strong body that you can't take to the ground. But English rips him down, puts the right hand to that left shoulder pad, and rips him to the turf. Austin English is a heck of a football player. Remember, he's a high school running back.
Yeah.
Good training table. Now he's a defensive end.
6'3", 253, junior out of Canadian, Texas. 2nd and 10 here. Incomplete as Pierce would like another shot at that one.
Yeah, that's a deal where last week in Colorado there were some drops. And how about the difference for Kansas State? They lose to Colorado 14-13. They're in a shootout in the first half, and this one 35-28. Oklahoma's more used to shootouts. I mean, they've been scoring points all year. This is foreign territory for Coach Ron Prince and his Wildcats.
K-State, of course, Freeman down at A&M 2 weeks ago. They had a victory against Texas A&M. He was 234 yards passing, ran for 95, and ran for 4 TDs.
Yeah.
3rd and 10 here for Freeman and crew. He finds again the Banks. He fumbles the football. Oklahoma's got it and recovering and picks it up. Nick Harris with the recovery, and the Sooners will get great field position at the 42 or 3 of Kansas State.
Well, Coach Prince talking to the official, at first maybe he thought there was a face mask.
Yeah.
Banks, they were up around his shoulder pad area, around the headgear. And they're in the shoulder pad, not in the headgear. Now, as he's trying to break the tackle, he's trying to extend the football to get the first down, and the ball is ripped out of there as he's trying to make the extension of the football. That's just good hustle by Oklahoma staying after it.
That was Keenan Clayton who got the knockaway and caused the fumble. Bob Stoops sees his club with a 7-point lead, gets the ball back,
Kansas
and now
State calling a timeout to challenge it.
Timeout, Kansas State. It's their first timeout.
I think he wants to talk about it. They're challenging the previous play. Kansas State called the timeout to challenge the previous play. Was his knee down before the ball came out?
Play is under further review. As I was speaking, I was getting a page.
He was getting a page. He was getting a page from up top. So Kansas State doesn't have to challenge. It's getting further review as we speak. Again, it doesn't matter about the face. This is the end of the play. Was the knee down before the ball came out? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like the knee's down before the ball's ripped out of there. Let's see. He's exposing the ball. It's hacked at. The ball's out before his body part's down, and there's not a body part down on the turf before the ball comes out of there when Clayton's tomahawk chopping at it. There's the tomahawk chop. He's starting to lose possession. He's not on the ground yet. The ball's out. He's not totally on the ground yet. I don't know that one. I think that they're not going. There's not enough evidence, I think, to overturn it.
I would agree.
I think the call on the field's going to stand.
Good cam work by our guys once again.
After further review, it was indeed a fumble. The ball goes over.
So Oklahoma will get the football back on the turnover. Now remember, Kansas State opened the game, if you weren't with us, with a very impressive drive after a penalty on the kickoff, and they took it to midfield, and then Freeman got whacked and coughed it up on an interception. The Sooners returned to the 26. 5 plays later from Murray, they scored. Let's see if they take advantage of the turnover again here. Kansas State's done a heck of a job to get back in this thing, but you cannot keep giving this offense the football in this position, Dave.
Yeah, and one of the big keys to the game was turnovers, valuing possessions, not giving extra possessions to Oklahoma, and making sure you take advantage of all yours. Kansas doing a number right now in Texas Tech, 42-14.
Yeah, Red Raiders trying to stay unbeaten, keep their BCS hopes alive. Chris Brown with a carry to the 40-yard line for Oklahoma. Sooners coming in 6-1, 2-1 in the Big 12 South, and Walker made the tackle that time. .647 yards of offense in this first half between the two teams. 326 to 321, Oklahoma the leader. And another one, this one dropped. Bradford, nice pass. Cheney couldn't handle.
Yeah, he couldn't throw it any better. Bradford kind of showing about as much emotion as he shows, which is really none. I mean, I think that's his biggest strength, is his poise. He is cool, calm, and collected. He never gets rattled. You know, when the game gets frenzied, his pulse drops to like 50. He is so calm and poised under pressure.
Keeps it all under control all the time. Just a sophomore. Bradford. And this one complete to Gresham. Nice leaping grab, and that ought to move the chains down near the 31-yard line.
Nice job by Oklahoma's people up front picking up the blitz. Kansas State came with extra numbers. They picked it all up, and they had Gresham in a mismatch. Gresham's too fast for linebackers, too big for safeties.
11-yard pickup. Gresham coming in with 26 grabs for 423 and 6 TDs. And Oklahoma, Marco Murray stopped at the 29 as Eric Childs is there. Childs, a junior out of Arlington, Texas, played his high school ball. Irving McCarthy.
Boy, Oklahoma can just keep so much pressure on you. I mean, you know, look, the difference in the football game right now is the turnovers. The one possession that Kansas State gave back to Oklahoma, they scored. They have a 7-point lead. Now this possession, if they score again, the 2-score lead will be due to the 2 turnovers in the game.
Murray, 11 carries, 82 yards in this first half. Bradford going to the air. Another wide open Gresham. He bulls his way. Touchdown. No signal, and Oklahoma.
Yeah, they did.
There it is, finally, as the Sooners, Gresham.
Oh, he ran over Blair Irvin.
You talk about wrapping somebody up. This big fella, he may take more than one.
Gresham is a horse. 6'6", 250 pounds. Watch him run over Irvin. Boom, lowered his shoulder pads, ran over Irvin, and scores easily. I mean, linebackers can't take him down before crossing the pylon. That was Reggie Walker. But Irvin was thinking, oh my gosh, I've got this big boy one-on-one. And he did a job trying to go low. Gresham is low and ran him over.
And the kick, missed. No good. No good on the point after that time by Stevens. And who knows where that may lead.
Yep, in a shootout.
Yeah, in this wild game. So it stays 41-28.
Let's see if he just basically blocked it out a little bit, pushed it right, hit the right upright. Back at you.
Well, who can forget the performance of Kansas State's Darren Sproles in the 03 Dr. Pepper Championship game. Wildcats all-time leading rusher gained 235 yards on the ground. He also went 60 in the air on an L. Roberson pass for a TD. K-State rated number 13, upset number 1 Oklahoma 35-7. And you might recall that was the year OU played in the BCS title game anyway. Right. Got beat by LSU down in the Sugar Bowl.
I used to love to watch Darren Sproles run because it reminded me of a duck swimming on a pond. you know, look kind of calm from the upper body up, but his legs are going like crazy under the water, that duck. That's how Sproles turned those little legs over as fast as I've ever seen with that running style of his, and now having a great pro career with the San Diego Chargers.
And remember, Dave, a lot of people wondered if he'd make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he proved people wrong at every level, including the #1 level, the National Football League.
Moreland to kick it off here after the TD reception by Gresham from Bradford, and out of bounds. Well, Oklahoma doing it running, throwing, and Murray's been right in the middle of it today.
Yeah, Murray's starting to get some confidence back. You know, that it takes time. He had that knee injury and returning kicks and just taking control of the football in the perimeter. Look at him doing a little look like Edwin Moses there as a hurdler. Now you put him in the slot as a receiver. He's going to make somebody miss and take it to the house. And the person he made miss was Tyson Hartman, who's a pretty good athlete, former quarterback. You have a broken coverage or basically a mismatch coming out of the backfield when you have a linebacker trying to cover him out of the backfield. Pamelli had no shot at him, and easy pickings. And DeMarco Murray has been a complete running back today.
And Murray with 3 touchdowns on the day and now 10 on the year. Freeman slides out of the pocket looking for Banks, and no flag.
Banks felt that Clayton was messing with him. Banks got up signaling like he was throwing a flag, like he expected one to be there down the middle of the field. Did Clayton touch him? Clayton's kind of, there's no face guarding in college football. So, you know, it basically, Clayton, I can see why there was no call on the play. That's where Banks has a little bit of difficulty finding the football at 5'7", 142 pounds. That's not what you look for matchup-wise with Banks.
2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Wildcats down 13. A great grab inside to the 33-yard line by Pierce. Man, did he stretch for that football like Velcro hands as Harris made the tackle.
Well, Austin Box undercutting it again. And Austin Box just can't quite make the play on it. You know, he feels like he's going to make the interception. Receiver takes it right out of his hands. You know, he can't win for trying. He's undercutting. That time he went over the top, not taking the proper angles. Not only allowing the catches, he's allowing a little bit after catch. Austin Box right now, they're kind of picking on him a little bit.
12 yards on the pickup that time. Intercepted.
Oh, wow.
To the 15-yard line. Franks right there to make the grab, and Oklahoma will knock on the door again.
Josh Freeman never saw him. It was a throwback screen, and Josh Freeman never located him until he released the football. And Franks just was kind of lurking in the weeds. Here's the roll and the throwback, and he's, oh my gosh, look, he's there. He never saw him as he's trying to just throw that screen pass to his tight end Jason Cuba. And Frank says, it's not going to go to Cuba, it's coming to me. Short field again. 3 turnovers for Oklahoma, and potentially could score off of all 3 of them, and that could be the difference in this football game, those 3 scores.
Franks, the sophomore out of Tulsa, out of Union High School down in Oklahoma, and gets his 2nd pick of the season. And now Murray back to work at the 10, sheds a tackler, and runs out of bounds down inside the 5-yard line. And there's some other pushing and shoving going near that sideline behind that play. Good block that time by Gresham to spring Murray.
Yeah, and the boys up front doing a good job too. I mean, nobody's getting off blocks. Once they're tying people up, they're just finishing blocks. As you can see, Oklahoma, everybody has a hat on a Kansas State defender, and Kansas State is not getting off the block. They have to be more violent with their hands, get off the block, separate, and make a tackle.
366 yards of offense for the Sooners as Murray cuts it back, nearly leans in, and does he?
Yeah. Oh, just short.
No signal. A little shy by DeMarco Murray.
Murray's trying to second and third effort lunge with the football. Remember, where is the football and where is his knee? His hand's down, and the ball had not crossed the plane. Is the left knee down as well? Where's the left knee? Where's the body? You know, you can balance yourself with your hand. You can tripod yourself to regain your balance. We're going with the call.
Well,
they're going to review it. Now they're going to review it.
Yep.
Because you can, when the hand's down, you're not down. You can tripod yourself and regain your balance, and as long as his knee or anything in his lower body, wasn't down other than the hand, if his elbow or shoulder's down, okay, it's just the hand balancing himself. Where's the football? I think he crossed the plane before anything other than his left hand hit the ground. I think you give him the touchdown on the second effort.
Well, Murray is 2 yards away from his third 100-yard game of the year, and we have 2:34 to go in this first half.
Probably a moot point if they spotted at this 2-inch line.
After further review, there's a reversal on the play. Touchdown.
Yep. I think the official, when he saw the handbill, I think he immediately felt, okay, I saw something down before the ball crossed. But you can't. Like I said, you see return guys, you see receivers balance and running backs out in space, make a cut, balance themselves with the other hand.
So Murray with the TD, and Oklahoma 47-28 at the moment.
3 turnovers, 3 touchdown leads scored off of each giveaway. Difference in the game, turnovers. Ron Prince, I think, is talking about the clock or something, potentially. I don't know. He's looking up at the scoreboard and at the clock. Ron Prince may have a clock challenge in his mind that needs to be reset.
What if he's thinking nobody can score 47 and a half?
Please put 2:42 on the game clock.
Yeah.
2:42.
Because that was the time on the clock when he scored. And they had snapped the football and started the clock. When they went to review, they blew the whistle and went to review it. And 8 seconds had leaked off the clock, so they put them back on the clock. Good catch by the Kansas State staff. So you want every second that you possibly can in this one.
So the kick is good, and Murray's 4th touchdown makes it 48-28 on the kick by Stevens. Send it down to Jim Knox. What's ahead at half?
Oklahoma fans, of course, happy about that. Coming up at halftime, we'll join Mike Leach, DeMarco Farr. They'll go over top 25 scores and highlights. Also, what else, girls? Next time. And Dave, I tell you what, Bill Lamb, what do you think? Who has a better head, Dave Lapham or Boomer? Boomer, do your trick here. Do your trick. Check this move out, guys. Check it out. Whoa, what a trick.
Oh, Knoxy, that's nothing, man. I can do yeah, right. That's pretty strong. For him to be able to control that big old head like that, that's some serious strength. Usually your body follows your head right to the ground.
That's why you're saying you could do the same thing.
Oh,
You've got that kind of noggin.
Yeah, right. Bucket head.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
That guy, he's definitely got a horse head.
What a wild game. Oklahoma jumped out 28-7. 3 straight TDs by K-State, and the Wildcats were even at 28. And then it's been all OU from the 6:26 mark to now the 2:42 with 3 touchdowns of their own, and Bob Stoops' club up by 20. And the kickoff to the Wildcats, and Murphy 20 and brought down at the 25-yard line. Well, today, college football coaches around the nation join ranks to fight one opponent, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and by wearing an armband with a Coach to Cure MD insignia, coaches will show their support to fight this fatal genetic disorder, which is diagnosed during childhood. Football fans, you can donate to muscular dystrophy research either online or at CoachToCureMD.org or by texting the word CURE to 90999 to automatically donate $5 from your mobile phones. American Football Coaches Association supports this initiative. And you might have heard Ron Prince opening comments with Jim Knox talk about how important that is and doing the right things and trying to give back to such a needy cause.
Particularly when you're dealing with young men, that disease is inflicting.
Oh, Murphy nearly had another sensational grab. Franks was covering. And here is Coach Prince more about that cure.
Anything that has to do with supporting, some kind of cause that helps young men, helps young people, we get behind that pretty wholeheartedly around here. That's something I think is important. this particular form that we're trying to battle is particularly debilitating. And there's a bunch of people out there supporting it this weekend. A lot of coaches wearing the armbands. Try not to politicize, but the office of football coach, and I don't think that's what this is about. I think it's just trying to raise awareness and also show solidarity for something that affects young people, and we're wholeheartedly behind it.
Here's Coach Prince, a class act. And, you know, Coach Ron Prince's dad passed away yesterday morning. He's coaching today with a heavy heart. His dad, 90 years old, and passing. And Ron Prince is an adopted only child, and his parents did an incredible job, because Ron Prince, in so many ways, is a quality human being, and I think the fact that he's supporting this effort today is another testament to it. And his dad obviously had a huge influence on his life.
Ron grew up in Junction City, not far from here in Manhattan. Here is Freeman. Incomplete on a 3rd and 7 from the 28. And now Ron Prince might be thinking, why'd I ask for any more time to be put back on the clock?
Yeah, right. And one final thing with Ron Prince, he was talking about his dad in the conference call to us, and Bob Stoops is wearing the armband as well in support of the cause. But Ron Prince said, my dad said I was nobody till the Army made me somebody. And he said, I tell my kids, we're nobody until football made us somebody. And that's a lesson well learned from his dad.
Whistle here will hold it up. Yeah, it's pretty obvious in talking to Coach Prince.
Ball start, offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That he is more than coach speak in student athlete and emphasizing the academics, and to make this experience really help these young men grow in so many ways. And most of the coaches are doing that, but he has really made a strong effort to let that be known that that's all part of the deal here at Kansas State.
He's interested in creating the whole person, not just the football player. He doesn't want football to define a person. He wants it to be part of the person. He wants it to cultivate the whole person.
Kohag with the punt, and Broyles on the punt return. Watch out, 45-50, Broyles got by another man, 30, Broyles will cut back, 15-10, touchdown Oklahoma. I don't see any flags. Oh, mama, the Sooners are rolling.
Well, the guy that missed him, the final miss was the punter, Fulhage, and you know that he's not going to allow the punter to miss him in space. And this is just Broyles. He's a gifted athlete. Here he's coming up on Fulhage right here. Whoop, there he goes. There goes the punter. Last man that can make a play on him. Cuts it back inside, picks up some downfield interference, and finishes. Great, great return by Oklahoma that just now 54 points. Over half a hundred at the half. Amazing.
Bowers made the key block there that helped him out as Stevens comes on for the point after, and it's good and unbelievable. It's 55-28.
Well, watch the punter as he punts the football. Watch. He's gonna show up in here, and he's gonna be all by his lonesome against a quality athlete. Nice little peel back there. Now it's like, whoa, hey, this is not what I signed up for. I just signed up to kick the football. I didn't sign up to have to tackle this guy in the open field. And Broyles makes a miss, and it's finalized for a touchdown. What a great play. And the coverage not sound enough for Kansas State in terms of their lane responsibilities, and Broyles abused it.
So, Dave, you've got 3 turnovers that have led to touchdowns. The Kansas State, right, the 3 turnovers, and now the kicking game, the special teams comes back in. So, again, there's your difference. There's 28 points, and it's 55-28.
Well, let's take a look at the keys, what we had for keys for Kansas State. Score a non-offensive touchdown. Oklahoma did that. Don't turn the football over and get some. They have no takeaways and 3 giveaways. So obviously, two of the three keys to this football game have gone in Oklahoma's favor instead of what Kansas State was hoping to get done.
And Moreland kicks it off again. How's his leg this afternoon? Down to the 3. Murphy cuts it back up. He's got a little space and then spins to the 30-yard line as they close in on him. And Dominic Franks making the tackle there. 27-yard return, and K-State gets it back down 27. Highest scoring game in the Big 12 this season. Well,
halftime.
Yeah, that was Texas.
We're almost there.
And Missouri last week, and 87 points combined, 83, and today
83 today. We're only 4 points away from tying that, Master. It's amazing.
I'll tell you what, you need your computer out here to stay track with this one. Well over 700 yards of offense in the first half. Freeman banks, and another big play. He steps out of bounds at the Oklahoma 39-yard line, and they're knocking on the door again with 1:10 to go.
Josh Freeman, accurate out of pocket, changed the launch point, and he delivers a perfect strike. I mean, that is just getting the ball downfield in a tight little spot because, as we said, Banks is 5'7". And to put it over the defender, and right there for Banks to hit him in stride, 5'7", 142-pounder, that was a dart down the field by Josh Freeman on the run.
40 yards on that play. As you take a look at what's going on just down I-70 with Texas Tech and Kansas, and a fumble, and Oklahoma's recovered this.
Unbelievable.
K-State looking to score again, and Oklahoma with another turnover. Frank Alexander with the recovery.
And I think Macon knocked it out of there. You know, ball security. You have to be aware of the ball security. Granger came up with the football, maybe. Let's see. Who knocks it out of there? Okay, knocking it out of there is Frank Alexander, right. And Granger comes up with it. But Josh Freeman has to secure it, has to put it away. Frank Alexander realized he hadn't, and he punched it right out of there. Fourth giveaway. You can't beat Oklahoma being -4.5.
Now, and Brent Venables may look at his defense and go, my gosh, we've given up 375 yards of offense. Hey, if you can create turnovers, it's all right, as they're proving, because Kansas State has no answer for the Oklahoma offense, particularly with the field position they're getting via the turnovers. Murray on the receiving end here is stopped by John Hulick. And Oklahoma, with 46 seconds to go in the half, a chance to score again.
And they'll go for it.
Gresham. Huge target, popped inside the 30. Oh, incomplete, beg your pardon.
Bobbled that bad boy, never had possession. You know, again, the keys for Kansas State. Non-offensive touchdown. Nope, Oklahoma scored that. They have to win the turnover battle. Nope, they're -4. They were -3 on the day coming in. Oklahoma +5. Oklahoma now +9. Kansas State -7. The only thing they're doing well, explosive plays, big plays. That was the other key. And Kansas State has gotten their share of explosive plays. You can't give it away like they have.
39 seconds. 3rd and 5 for the Sooners. Bradford, little look in, and it is complete to Chaney, and that will move the chains. Stop the clock momentarily. No problem for Oklahoma in this hurry up that they run to perfection. Hulick made the tackle.
Boy, how badly do you think Manuel Johnson wants to play?
Yeah, I think that elbow's fine now.
Yeah. With the half. How about you let me play the second half?
Yeah. Gresham with the receiver here. Well, Oklahoma, a record here for most points in a half. The old mark was 52.5 against Rice, 1978. And they very well, with 20 seconds to go, get 6 more.
This is going to be a record for both schools in terms of points combined in a half. 73 points in a half. I mean, that's got to be a record in both schools' annals in terms of total points combined. I mean, for a while we had a real track meet going on with 28-28, but then turnovers, punt return, all of a sudden here it is 55-28, and it happened quickly.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden Usain Bolt showed up on the Oklahoma sideline of this track meet and said, see ya.
Exactly.
As I want to remind you, stay with us. Some crazy stuff going on in college football today. And Michael Eaves, DeMarco Farr will update you on everything here at halftime on College Football Saturday.
You know, Josh Freeman only had 2 interceptions on the season coming into the game. Billy has 2 in the first half today, and he lost a fumble.
Tough day for the record-setting Freeman. Bradford on a 2nd and 4. Incomplete, intended for Broyles. 3rd and 4 with 14 seconds to go.
You know, the thing about Bradford is he always sets up with unbelievable balance. His body is never contorted, never out of balance. He has tremendous body control. And that's what it all starts with. It all starts with the feet, lower body, and that transfers to the upper body.
12 of 21 for 222 yards and flag here.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you. You can't even fake the start of the play, and Brandon did at the right tackle spot. Even if you're in a 2-point stance, you can't set back like you're faking the start of a play.
So 3rd and 9, that's not the big deal. It's 14 seconds remaining. Bradford goes out, sets up here, in trouble. Shovels it to Murray.
What a play. Almost a great creativity there.
If Murray grabs that, who knows the way it's going.
Kidding.
I mean,
you're not kidding. And
look at his half.
This was almost a Brett Bradford, like Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Because Bradford, how many times have you seen Brett Favre do this kind of thing? You know, extend, create, and that little shovel pass at the end. And Bradford almost did the same thing on the perimeter of Murray.
4th down and 9 with 6 seconds to go in the half. Bradford rolls out again at the 50.
Hail Mary.
Give it a shot. And that ends the first half. Shocking that somebody didn't catch it the way we've had this one go.
Man.
Ron Prince saw his club down 21, come back to tie it, and now trailing 55-28 at the half of college football Saturday in the Big 12. And the Stars are out. Murray's got 4 touchdowns. Bradford has scored 1, thrown for a 3. We've had punt return for a score. Let's send it down to Jim Knox with Bob Stoops.
Coach, you got extremely pleased, especially after they tied it up. You guys spin it in another gear, close to 400 total yards in offense, 4 turnovers, your defensive calls on defensive side of the ball.
We're fortunate to come up with the turnovers. That makes a difference. He scrambling around, he's making some plays, and they made some big plays on us. And offensively, we're really, run and pass doing pretty well.
All right, DeMarco Murray had a huge first half. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the guy's a special player, and he's just hitting his form, and hopefully has another big half in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. Right now, let's head to our college football Saturdays and join Michael Eaves and DeMarco Farr. It is halftime. Oklahoma all over Kansas State, 55-28. Michael?
All right, Jim, thanks. Welcome to the College Football Saturday halftime show. 83 points in the first half.
I'm out of breath.
DeMarco, the fans in Manhattan went to a football game and a track meet broke out.
Absolutely, but this game favors Oklahoma. They ran 97 plays last week in a shootout with Kansas. This is what they want. Bob Stoops wants to light up a scoreboard.
55 points. That's our OU record for most points scored in a half. We got more scores and highlights coming up. And we also have text time. We know you want to be interactive. Here's your outlet, 310-425-9455. DeMarco's answering your questions and comments all day long. We're coming up. Texas Tech putting on an offensive show as well against Kansas, but today just the start of a tough stretch of games for the Red Raiders. You're watching the College Football Saturday halftime show.
Welcome back. College Football Saturday from the Big 12, presented by KFC, and we are at Bill Snyder Family Stadium on a beautiful day for college football. Nothing pretty for the Kansas State Wildcats. So is Oklahoma 55-28 at the half. Bill and Dave Lapham, we needed to recover from that.
Fast break football.
Yeah, and it's been like 3 different games. OU jumps out, K-State responds, and then OU smothers them.
And K-State self-destructs.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that basically OU has got the big lead that they have. In the first half, they're enjoying a 28-7 lead is Oklahoma. And then Freeman goes to Brandon Banks for 77 yards down the sideline to make it a 28-14 football game. Kansas State caught him in the blitz. They catch him in the blitz again. And Austin Box tries to undercut Mastrud, makes a bad decision. Now it's 28-21. I'll tell you a guy that was consistently excellent all first half long, though, is DeMarco Murray. Rushed for 102 yards, averaged over 7 yards per carry. And here he cuts a little swing pass touchdown. Linebacker can't cover Murray out of the backfield. And then this was a backbreaker. Ryan Broyles goes 68 yards for a punt return. Punter's not going to catch him or make a tackle on him in the open field. He's to the house to make it 55-28 at that particular time. And that is our halftime score. What a track meet. Just incredible.
Take a look at the stats here, and some things are fairly even. I think the thing that stands out, two things: the turnovers, 4-zip, and that, as Dave mentioned, 4 touchdowns it's resulted for Oklahoma. And the average per play, Kansas State, how many times you average 9 yards per touch, and you're down 27?
Well, you're down 27 because you turned it over 4 times and you didn't take it away once. You cannot play a top 5 team and give them 4 extra opportunities and possessions, because Oklahoma's going to finalize. And Bill, their red zone numbers, I don't know how many of their touchdowns are in the red zone, but they had 35 touchdowns in the red zone and 37 opportunities after their first touchdown. So depending on, they've only missed 1 time, only settled for 1 field goal in the red zone all season long. And that's continuing through this first half when they hung over a half a hundy on the board. They're amazing. When they get in the red zone, they know how to finish.
I believe they're 6 of 6 today in the red zone. I say I believe because it's so hard to keep up.
It is.
It's mind-boggling here. And then Oklahoma, as we take a look at their possession chart in the first half, gets the ball to start the second half, and first down carry out to the 22. Look at that.
Well, a 3 and out. What's that doing in there? I mean, that's impossible. That couldn't have happened. 2 punts, and then the rest in the end zone. Unbelievable execution.
Bradford. Incomplete here as he took a hit. Now individually, Bradford in the first half.
222 yards passing. You know, 3 more touchdowns to his credit. DeMarco Murray, almost 100 yards rushing. I think he averaged over 7 yards a carry. And Gresham, big target, big factor, mismatch waiting to happen. That's the thing. Oklahoma's got mismatches up and down the line of scrimmage in terms of their skill people for mismatch potential.
3rd and 9 for the Sooners here. Obviously a big set of downs for Kansas State. They've got to slow Oklahoma down. And they get Bradford, but he unloads it. So he avoids the sack as Gresham, the nearest man to the football. Shows you the strength of Bradford as Campbell had him there but couldn't quite pull him down in time. Let's revisit our scouting report here, Dave, from days in. And first of all, for the Sooners.
Well, they certainly did a good job avoiding the negative plays. They had no sacks allowed and no turnovers. Pressured Freeman. They got a couple interceptions. Did a pretty good job there. 3rd down, they weren't quite as good as they hoped to be there, but they didn't have to be. They were so dominant in the other phases.
Murphy is deep as Nall, the punter. Fair catch, and Kansas State 3 and out, and as a result, good field position on the punt exchange, and they'll have it at the 42-yard line. Here's their crazy first half.
Well, there it starts with a turnover, and then you have turnovers, down the stretch that just you cannot live like that. And the final possession's a turnover as well. You can't live like that. Now they had some big plays. They didn't run a whole lot of plays in any one of their opportunities, but they had a 2-play touchdown drive. And those things were positive. They did have some explosives.
334 yards of offense in the first half. Freeman trying to hook up with Banks, and Freeman, who became the all-time touchdown career leader here for K-State in the first half. But you mentioned 2 interceptions in the season, and he gets 2 in the first half.
Right. And no running game to speak of, and that the only time they were a threat is when they spread the field and threw it down the football field. And Brandon Banks, he had a big half, and a lot of it was that 77-yard touchdown reception that just kind of ignited Kansas State for a little while.
Freeman, good protection. Just missing to Banks again.
Had him.
Wow.
He had Harris. Banks had Harris in coverage, and Harris is a safety, and Banks can outrun a safety. Banks has got speed. Banks gets separation. Harris is pretty decent coverage there though, but Freeman throws a strike, and Banks can't handle it. And as you look at the shadows, the way the shadows are being cast, I think he fought Sun a little bit. I think he had a hard time finding that football.
And Harris was a first-team all-conference defender at that strong safety. Last week played the linebacker slot to fill in after Reynolds was knocked out in the Texas game, and now back in the safety position. Meanwhile, they come back on the throwing game. Kansas State. Box makes the tackle on Pierce. And let's revisit the scouting report of Kansas State.
Yeah, this one's going to be a failing grade, I can tell you that before we start. Non-offensive touchdown, they didn't get one, but Oklahoma did. Explosives, they were good there. That's the only positive of the half. And then turnovers, you know, they didn't want to have any, and they wanted to force them. It went just the opposite, and Oklahoma scores a bunch of points off those giveaways.
Timeout is called here. We'll take a break as well. College Football Saturday presented by KFC. We'll be back in a moment. Our best buy, best connection of the game is the record setter from Freeman to Mastrud.
Well, Oklahoma blitzes. Austin Box has to take the tight end in coverage, and he tries to undercut it. The backside linebacker tries to undercut Mastrud, and he doesn't do a very good job of it angle-wise. Ball is over his head. He gambles. No go there. Mastrud takes it to the end zone, and there's the record setter for Josh Freeman. You know, sometimes you live by the blitz. Sometimes they call the right play into the blitz, and the execution's not quite there. And it happened more than once for Kansas State. They got a little bit of a roll against the blitz in the first half.
Freeman, career TD pass number 38, passing L. Roberson. Freeman in trouble here. Unloads, wow. Got a man, it's Mastrud, and he's got the first down.
Now that's a fourth down play, Bill, and they could not get Freeman on the ground. That's what we talked about. Out of pocket, in pocket. We saw the run that he had in the first half when they couldn't get him on the ground. And the pressure is there. And, you know, I mean, there's pressure from all over, but nobody has really a big enough hold on him to take him to the turf. Granger tries, but he's so strong as he's falling backwards, completes a pass to Mastrud.
6'6", 250, keeps the K-State drive alive. And on the ground this time, as they're trying to establish something in that ground game, because, as Dave mentioned, they're pretty much non-existent. They had 13 rushes, 34 yards before that play. Travis Lewis makes the tackle here.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma showed a little bit more balance. They were able to run the football and throw the football, and that's what Kevin Wilson wants. I mean, that's their MO. The more balanced they are, the better he likes it. K-State was one-dimensional.
Second and long. Freeman, they got him this time and throw him to the ground. His mark will be the 50. Gerald McCoy coming up with his 6th sack of the year.
Yeah, you have a problem in here. I mean, I'm not sure if there was an assignment error or just a breakdown. I think the left guard thought the center was sliding his way. He gave up the inside rush. That's unusual. You just can't do that. And coming into this football game, and the one area that Kansas State had been outstanding was not allowing sacks on the quarterback. I mean, they'd only given up 4 all season long.
The Sooners' defense and the sacks, turnovers have been huge, with 4 today. And now on a 3rd down.
Too much time.
Yep.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You know, in 7 games, Kansas State had given up 4 sacks, a little over half a sack a game. That was second in the conference, 3rd in the country. And coming in, Oklahoma had 26 sacks, Bill, 1st in the conference, 7th in the country. So that was an interesting matchup. Who was going to be able to handle that phase of it, pressure protection stuff, and it has been a good battle.
55-28. Now 3rd and 21 for Freeman. Pierce tries to make a play. 40. And shy, needed to get to the 34-yard line.
But it's makeable. Now you can go for it.
Yeah, now 4th down, and obviously they'll go for this if they were going for it before near midfield, as Clayton makes the tackle.
On 3rd and 21, if they had thrown an incompletion, you got to punt it. But you pick up 19 of the 21 yards. Now you can go for it. And that's just an outstanding throw. You know, you have receivers that know where to settle in zones between cornerbacks and safeties, and Josh Freeman throws a strike.
4th and 2 now. Freeman, Dole, knocked out of bounds, but moves the chains as Logan Dole, the freshman out of Garden Plain, Kansas, stopped by Brian Jackson.
Well, instead of picking up the blitz, he just takes off out of the backfield. So he doesn't do anything with the blitzers coming up the middle, and it's an easy read for Josh Freeman. He just feather touches it out there, and it's a little pitch and catch. Once again, a great call by the offensive coordinator, Dave Brock, against the blitz.
1st and 10 at the 28. Kansas State, first possession here in the second half. Dole, nothing doing. Granger makes the stop.
Dole gets stopped cold. You know, it's really the difference in this football game. Another factor. One team has been able to come off the line of scrimmage and impose their will a little bit in the running game. The other team hasn't. They're missing Kansas State Lamarck Brown, a sophomore from Hazelwood, Missouri, who is a pretty good running back that hadn't played now in the last 3 games, and he ran for 137 yards earlier this year against Louisiana Lafayette. So and they're also missing Jordan Bedore, the center. That's a heck of a chance. So some depth problems there. Across the middle, and incomplete, intended for Mastrud. Lewis covering on the play. Oh, that's been a nice little safety net for Josh Freeman, and the Sooners keep blitzing, and Josh Freeman took him right to the smush, right to the face mask. Austin English gave him a little shiver in there. Now 3rd and 7 at the 25. Life of a quarterback, Bill. Yeah, better be tough. 6'6", 250. He's bigger than us, and he looked right over the crib. He did turnip off over his head. Freeman, they come after him again, and they do wrap him up for another sack as Keenan Clayton led the charge. English, you mentioned, he was there as well. Well, as we said, given up 4 sacks all season, gave up 2 sacks on that possession. On that drive, they gave up 2 quarterback sacks. Highly unusual. And they're bringing the house, and they're bringing them all. And twisting and stunting, and Kansas State's offensive line's not up to the task. Josh Freeman goes down. Rossman comes on for the field goal attempt. Brooks Rossman, his longest is 53. This is from just shy of the 40, so a 50-yarder. He's got the leg, and Rossman, no good. Just missed. Yeah, blocked it, pushed it right. Well, he's got plenty of leg, though, like you said. He got quick elevation, too. We come back, it'll be Oklahoma possession with 9:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. Sooners 55-28 leader. College Football Saturdays presented by KFC and the KFC $10 Challenge. 7 pieces of KFC original recipe, 1 large side, and 4 biscuits for just $9.99. Life tastes better with KFC. And the first down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home with Overstock.com. At home with the O. Well, now Oklahoma playing a little big boy ball by this formation, Bill. They're getting after it a little bit. Line up under the center as Clapp and Murray are the backs behind Sam Bradford. 1st and 10 from the 32. We're in shock because there's been no scoring yet in this second half. We don't quite know how to handle it after that unbelievable first half as Murray carries this one out to about the 33.5. And that's the thing about Oklahoma we saw in the first half, how versatile their athletes were. They were spreading the field. And now you see they've got the big lead. So what do? They bring everybody in between the hash marks and they play big boy ball. You know, they got the beasts in there. They got 10 people in tight and one. They're not spreading the field here. They're pounding. Take a drive, maybe say, all right, can we just wear you down? Well, it opens things up in the passing game, and it is incomplete. Well, to Rattery, a little play-action pass to the tight end Rattery, and he just could not quite make that one-handed catch. He got the hand on it, but could not control it and bring it in. It'll make it a 3rd down and 9. Bradford steps up, felt the pressure. Murray running without the football, can't hang on. So Kansas State gets a couple of stops, but they missed on a field goal attempt in their only possession of this half. And a rarity for them, gave up 2 quarterback sacks on 1 possession. Again, they'd only given up 4 for the season. And we've seen how tough Josh Freeman is to bring to the turf. 6'6", 250 pounds. When he sets up in the pocket, it's like a tree rooted in there.
So Null will come on for the punt. Stands on his own 19. Deion Murphy is deep. High snap. They come after him. Got a piece of it. And it takes a K-State bounce. So we mentioned 7 blocks on the season. Make it 8 as they get a piece of this one. And Kansas State will get excellent field position.
Yeah, you know, high snap, and now you have a punter under stress, and he just kicks it right up the elevator shaft, just kind of shanks it.
Welcome back, 55-28. The Cat Cannon has been firing, but not enough for Kansas State fans so far here today as the Wildcats trail it by 27. Bill and Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you here in Manhattan, the Bill Snyder Family Stadium, as the Sooners, beg your pardon on that kick was not blocked, but Null literally felt the pressure and kind of shied away, and then the poor kick gives Kansas State the ball. 1st and 10 on the 37. Here's a low snap, and Dole gets the handoff from Freeman, and he's stopped for one game.
Yeah, Ernie Pierce is the guy that pressured the punter, and Ernie Pierce has been involved in a lot of the blocks. Ernie Pierce and Courtney Herndon have combined. Ernie Pierce came off the edge and kind of made the punter hurry off the high snap, hurry his technique and hit it off the side of his foot.
Here's where numbers are deceiving. Freeman's had wow, he's thrown for 375 yards. Great day. Well, no, the 2 picks nullify some of that.
And the fumble.
And the fumble.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, everyone agrees that I think Bradford and Freeman, of all the Big 12 quarterbacks, are probably the 2 most NFL ready. And you compare Freeman to another guy that came out of the college ranks.
Now, this was the #1 pick in the draft last year, or a couple of years ago, for the Oakland Raiders. And look at the comparison. Size-wise, arm strength is very comparable. I think Josh Freeman may even be a little bit more athletic in terms of being able to throw on the run like he is right here. And it'll be an interesting decision for Josh Freeman to make about the National Football League.
Nearly had that one caught and picked off as it went into some dangerous territory there.
Now, he can't do that on Sunday. Put one up for grabs like that. He's going to make a little bit better decision. But, you know, really think what senior quarterback. It's going to be determined by which underclassmen come out. And because there's not really a senior quarterback that's a guy that's a can't-miss guy. And Josh Freeman, I think, has potential to be a pretty good guy at the next level. Now, if he's not sure about what he wants to do, we'll hear from him a little bit here soon, but it's going to be interesting. He's going to have to do some due diligence because if he decides to come out, he may be the guy.
Of course, Bradford could come out. He is a 3rd-year sophomore.
Right, redshirt sophomore.
Yeah. As Murphy with the reception here, and that will move the chains, taking it down to the 25-yard line. Frank's covering on the play, and Deion Murphy's having a big day. Came in with 16 for 244 and 2 scores. And Murphy with a pair of touchdowns already today.
And Colt McCoy has said he wants to stay before. He said he's not coming out. And Chase Daniel, in a lot of scouts' estimation, isn't even a day 1 guy, isn't a top 3 round draft pick guy. So, you know, it's going to be who's coming out and who's not. It might be between Bradford and Freeman.
Dole breaks a tackle on another and slips it all the way down to near the 15-yard line. And Lindy Holmes making the play.
But you look at Bradford, he doesn't have the girth. I mean, he's not as big as Freeman, not anywhere close to 250 pounds, but he stands a solid 6'5", you know, not 6'6", 250 like Freeman, but he's got plenty of pocket presence as we take a look at one of the better runs of the game for Kansas State. He definitely has pocket presence and a touch and a quick release.
Dole again as the Wildcats trying to get that running game going and pick up the 1st down on a 2nd and less than 1. And 1st down, K-State, 6:27 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Tell you, you know, you can't take your foot off the gas if you're Oklahoma. The way this thing, you know, it was 28-7 and thinking yawn, ho, hum. Next thing you know, boom, it's 28-28 as Kansas State starts making some explosives in the passing game.
Dole again taking a couple with him. Down to the 5-yard line. Lewis makes the tackle. And now Jim Knox with a freecreditreport.com sideline report.
All right, Bill, not in the game right now. Defensive lineman Gerald McCoy right here walking on the sidelines to the left of him, 93, injured his right ankle, trying to walk it off. It looks like he could be back in, guys.
Hopefully he'll continue to make the game, Knoxy. Knoxy, you okay, man? That seemed like a tough body surf as you were rolling through the stands, bro. You all right?
No problem. I'm still trying to find my wallet, though. If you guys see it, just let me know.
On a 2nd and 3, Dole finds his way to the end zone. Logan Dole, the freshman, gets his 3rd touchdown of the season. He threw a touchdown pass earlier. Now he scores one on the ground.
And he had one against Texas A&M as he rushed for over 100 yards in that game. Pretty good blocking up front. Some of the offensive linemen pulling and leading the way, and Dole gets to the edge and lowers those shoulder pads and finishes. He smelled the end zone on that one. He knows what he's doing. He's a clever running back, and again, a true freshman.
So Dole, a 5-yard TD run, and Rossman with the point after attempt, and Kansas State scores first in the second half. And it's a 20-point game, 55-35. A lot of talk about guys going pro and who's suited for it. And Dave had a chance to ask Josh Freeman just to how much does he consider the opportunity that might go to the NFL for next year?
I mean, it's always in the back of your mind. I mean, you dream about playing in the NFL as a kid. But, I mean, right now the task at hand is being the quarterback at Kansas State. And as long as I'm able to do it, foreseeing maybe the next year, through that in my senior year, yeah. So, I mean, I'm planning on being here 4 years, you know, and I mean, there's not really a whole lot that can change that, but I mean, I'm just got to play it out. I mean, there's nothing that worrying about the NFL is going to fix. I mean, you just got to worry about what you're doing right now, and everything will take care of itself.
And you see some of his numbers, Bill. I mean, he's rewriting the record book as we speak. I mean, this kid is a tremendous football player, and he doesn't have the pressure financially. I mean, you know, it's not a situation where he has to go to the NFL because he has to take care of himself and his family in dire straits or whatever. So he can make, you know, an educated decision that's best for him individually. But at some point in time, you do that due diligence. If you end up being, you know, somewhere in the top 5 or the top 3, now you have to think, if I come back, what if I get hurt? What quarterbacks would I be competing against in the draft the following year? You have to go through that whole exercise and just sit down. He's plenty smart enough to make that kind of decision.
Rossman with the kickoff here, and plenty of leg from him, and Oklahoma with a touchback, and they'll get it back 1st and 10 at the 20. Player down out about the 20.
Sims, it looks like
3-yard line for the Sooners.
Like he was rolling around. Is it? No, it's not Sims. It's 18.
Is that Gresham?
Yeah, it's Jermaine Gresham.
Wow, can't afford to lose him.
Lose him on a kickoff return would be catastrophic. He is obviously in pain. And it's an upper body injury, not a lower body. So I guess if you had your druthers, that's where you'd like to have the injury. You don't want to have ankle, knee, that kind of injury.
And Gresham's got a 29-yard touchdown reception here today, and he's
hanging that left arm as he comes off the field, Bill. So I don't know if it's a shoulder or, you know, what the injury is to that left side, but obviously that's hanging pretty limp, that left arm.
19 TD receptions in his career, most ever for an Oklahoma tight end. And this year, he's averaged 29 yards per TD reception. Last year, he averaged 13.8. So it goes again to what you were talking about stretching him out, playing him in different places. He is a huge weapon. Murray slips as he tries to turn it upfield on a 1st and 10 from the 20. And it'll be second loss on that play. This first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop for the company that supports college football. Overstock.com, at home with the O. 2nd and 12 officially from the 18. Oklahoma with a 55-35 lead. And at 55 at the half if you weren't with us for the early one. Here's Bradford. Got a man wide open as Murray. 30, 35, got a great block, 45, and out of bounds across midfield at the 49-yard line of Kansas State. Bradford to DeMarco Murray. Cheney, was that the blocker on that play?
Courtney Herndon bit. Watch number 20 in the purple jersey right here. Whoops! Uh-oh! Oh no! And he tried to redirect himself and falls down. He's like, oh man, I bit too hard. Now off to the races, and there's the downfield block you talked about. Just an absolute pancake, throw some syrup on that block from Cheney.
33 yards on the play, and Oklahoma setting up in K-State territory now. Call it actually the 48. Brown and Madu in the lineup. Moses Madu, sophomore from Norman.
They just keep coming, don't they?
Fake to Brown, yeah.
Play clock expired. Boy, they run troops off the sideline, though. They are so deep at every position. They called timeout. Bench must have called timeout.
For the delay, timeout was called. Oklahoma.
Sideline coaches on the bench called it.
All right, and while they gather, let's check in with Jim Knox and find out hopefully more about Jermaine Gresham. Jim?
All right, Bill, thanks. Jermaine Gresham remains on the bench right now. They're checking out his left shoulder in a good deal of pain when he came to the bench, but we'll see what happens. Anything develops, we'll pass it on to you guys.
You know, sometimes if you land on your elbow, I've done that before, Bill, landed on my elbow, trying to make a tackle off an interception, a one-point landing, and separated my shoulder. Sometimes you can just land on your shoulder and do some damage to your collarbone or shoulder. So there's a myriad of things it could be, and don't want to sit here and speculate medically, that's for sure.
Gresham hopefully all right, as without Manny Johnson, with 8 TD receptions coming in. And he will be back soon, though. And they had thought he might even go today, but had a brace that just didn't allow him to do what he needed to do. And with the depth they got at receiver, why would you risk anybody?
Right. No reason to push it.
Another flag.
False start on Oklahoma.
Dead ball, false start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Kevin Wilson's got to be wondering, how do we come out in the first half, in the first quarter, and just absolutely destroy people like we draw it up? And in the second half, or in the third quarter here today, you know, a chance to just put them away, they've really struggled.
At the top of the screen, you saw Hannah move early, number 82 in that white jersey.
Here's Brown. He tries to answer and does, and picks it up on that carry. As Brown down inside the 35-yard line, Herndon made the tackle. Phil Lodeholt leading the way for that impressive run by Chris Brown.
Yeah, they ran a little counter, and Lodeholt pulled from that left side. Big old tackle can move. He's got some good feet, former basketball player, can pick him up and put him down.
Chris Brown again, and pushes near the 31. I don't know if Madu was coming in for Brown, but Brown just waved him back to the sideline as they were signaling in that play. It was like, hey, either I don't have time to get off, or I've got to go in here.
Got a flag on that play.
Dead ball, personal foul. Number 73. 15-yard penalty, second down.
Brandon Walker committing the penalty, senior out of Detroit, Michigan.
You know, they overcame a 1st and 15 by just a straight run. What a luxury that is for Kevin Wilson. 1st and 15 off schedule. Nah, just run an inside zone play, and they pick up 17. Now they're off schedule big time. I mean, personal foul is put you off schedule. Now you're looking at like 1st and 25.
Oklahoma 457 yards of total offense, 437 for Kansas State. 2nd and 23 from the 47 of the Wildcats. Here's Sooner quarterback Bradford. That one knocked away as they're trying to come inside, as Hulick making the play against Cheney. Quentin Cheney, a senior out of Tulsa.
You know, that was another good thing in the first half. Fast break football, there weren't a whole lot of penalties. I mean, both teams played very, very clean football, although the tempo was so dramatically high.
Murray in beside Bradford. 3rd down for the Sooners. Flag thrown. Bradford 40, 35, and out of bounds.
You got a hold on the edge.
Gotta be.
Yeah, that's Trent Williams. Put the big old grab on him on the edge. And the whole stands erupted.
Yeah, everybody in K-State certainly saw it, didn't they?
Holding. Offense. Number 71. A 10-yard penalty.
You were an offensive lineman. Did you ever have a quarterback get mad at you for holding if you were helping protect him?
No, not really. And this right here, watch, inside it's a little twist, and the true freshman's the one that's getting held, you know, and that's definitely a good grip on Brandon Harold. Now this kid from East St. Louis is a true freshman at 6'6", 264 pounds, and I'll tell you what, coach and staff could not speak highly enough of this young man, mature physically and mentally.
3rd and 33, yeah, he leads the Big 12 in tackles for loss and had one denied there possibly. Bradford trying to hook up with Iglesias, and the Sooners are stopped by the Kansas State defense. So Oklahoma, after a 55-point first half explosion, scoreless with 3:08 to go in the third quarter. Kansas State has picked up one score, doled a 5-yard run at 5:29 in this period. Murphy back for the punt return.
Yeah, you were once again getting back to Brandon Harold. 10.5 tackles for loss, Bill. Leads all freshmen. Number 1 in the Big 12, number 16 in the country. He's a heck of a football player. 3 quarterback sacks as well. Another high snap.
Again, they bring the heat on, but a high kick, and Murphy stays away from it, goes out of bounds. Well, Oklahoma, we mentioned, 4th in the nation, BCS, and 4th in the Big 12 South. Here's what's happened today. Texas Tech has already won, defeating Kansas.
Big, 63-21 was it?
Yeah, and then you got Texas and Oklahoma State about to kick off right now, and somebody's going to lose there, obviously. Baylor's having a heck of a game up against Nebraska. Now, Tech today, Graham Harrell. Nobody mentions NFL with this guy. What's your thoughts on Graham Harrell? Just absolutely record-setting every time out.
And you know, everybody's knock on Graham Harrell. Look at the numbers again today. 5 more touchdown passes. That he's a system quarterback. And we'll talk a little more after the snap here.
Oh, my, what a boot that time from Dominique Franks.
Franks on Banks.
Or Banks, I should say.
Yeah, Franks on Banks. Man, and this, you talk about smush to smush. Woo! That's helmet to helmet right there. You know, in the NFL, that's a defenseless receiver. That may be flagged when you go helmet to helmet like that. That's pretty darn good contact. But Banks just popped right up. I mean, he's like, hey, I'm a tough little sucker. Come at me again.
He's listed as 5'7", 142, the junior from Garner, North Carolina.
Frank should be ashamed of himself picking on that little guy.
He's like, hey, that little guy burned us today.
No doubt.
Logan Dole with the carry.
You know, back to Graham Harrell. I think he's definitely draftable. But, you know, you look at his size, his arm strength, all the things that you have to project to the next level. He definitely, I mean, the offense that he runs is a gimmick gadget offense. Look at David Klingler, you know, running the run and shoot. Cliff Kingsbury ran that offense. And Graham Harrell, I think, has to fight a lot of those kind of things, whereas Josh Freeman has run more of a pro-style offense, and he has more of a pro-style body.
Freeman here, incomplete. Screw to Murphy, not sure who the intended receiver is. He got a lot of pressure from Austin English that time.
You know, all the quarterbacks in the Mike Leach era, they've all gotten into the NFL, either free, they're in camps everywhere.
They get the camp.
Now, how many have really gone on to post numbers? It's, you know, again, they're capable college quarterbacks, and they you know, every team, a lot of teams have 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. They're amongst the 96 best quarterbacks in the country, so they'll have a shot somewhere.
High punt this time as Broyles receives at the 41. Outruns one defender and then brought down near midfield. Bodies flying around that time as Wilson made the tackle for Kansas State on Ryan Broyles.
Balogun came through there like Batman. I mean,
yeah.
He was flying through the air. Looked like a superhero.
So Oklahoma will come back with excellent field position.
You know, look at Andre Ware, another one.
Yeah.
You know, Andre Ware, Heisman Trophy, gets to the NFL, and, you know, they run and shoot again. You know, these system guys, that's what unfortunately, you know, whether it's deserved or not, he's going to be fighting.
No question. Brown on the ground, and Walker makes the tackle here. Brown with over 100 yards rushing. DeMarco Murray, 16 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns today. And Brown with 1 score. Murray 2 on the ground. He's also had 2 through the air from Bradford. And here is Brown again. And send it down to Jim Knox real quick.
Austin English, they're looking at his left knee. Austin English, the fine defensive lineman of Oklahoma, on the training table. They're looking at his left knee, guys.
Uh-oh, don't want to see that.
Too good a player to, again, they start to get some players back, and it's the nature of the game, though, that you've got to have depth, you've got to have numbers. Brown again the carry here as we wind down this third quarter, 39 seconds and counting, and it'll be a 2nd down and 5 for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and hopefully there's nothing severe there with Austin English as we take a look. But like you said, Bill, it's got to be next man up, like Manuel Johnson, next man up. Not able to go today.
Marco Murray with the carry. Tyson Hartman, freshman out of Wichita, Kansas, makes the stop.
DeMarco Murray is long and light. You know, I mean, he's a different kind of running back, and he is such a weapon. He lost the tire again. That's the tire that he halfway blew in the first half, and it blew off that foot again. He has
How's that happen?
He has to take a pit stop, man. You got to get a whole new set. I'd get a whole new set of tires. Didn't get him at the half. Maybe at the end of the third quarter, get a whole new set.
He's got time now. All right. Well, that's the end of the third quarter here in Manhattan at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Oklahoma still leads 55-35. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday. It's presented by KFC. Homecoming at Kansas State. Wildcat students hanging in there with their club down 20. We go to the fourth quarter, and Oklahoma with a football and an impressive drive, and the handoff to Madu. And our KFC game summary kind of tell you the story of what we've had here today, with a wild first half that in fact was an Oklahoma school record with 55 points.
And the running game, look at that. 2 100-yard rushers in the same game. That's getting it done at the line of scrimmage. Freeman, very, very productive, but he also had 2 interceptions and lost a fumble. Those 4 first half turnovers, 3 of them were on Josh Freeman, but he has put up some big play numbers.
Brown, a season high 124 yards rushing today. His previous best 107 in the Washington win. As Madu gets another carry here. And it'll be 3rd or 2nd down now and 8 for Oklahoma. Fourth quarter just underway in Manhattan, Kansas. Bradford. Yeah. And Madu makes the most of it. He picks up the first down as Carney forces him out of bounds.
Now, you know Bradford wasn't going to keep that football. I mean,
but he made him think just a moment, didn't he?
He did. He attacked the line of scrimmage, and he said, I'm not paid to run it. Watch him attack the line of scrimmage, and then pitch it right and say, okay, this is what you're paid to do, not me. I'm a guy that likes to throw that bad boy, and boy, can he throw it. What a touch and accuracy he has.
As a result, Ian Campbell bit just enough, and Madu got outside of him for the first down. And now Madu sneaking his way down through the 5. And see where they spotted as Carney makes the tackle.
You know, it looks like DeMarco Murray is probably pretty much done for the day. And it's good to see him continue to get comfortable and confident with the cuts that he can make.
Yeah, here's Madu, and broken ankle tackle and stopped near the 3. Yeah, Murray with that offseason surgery, and the coaches said, hey, he is healthy. He's 100%, but Bob Stoops says, I think every day, every week, every game, every practice that you get further away from that injury, he's going to feel better physically and mentally, most importantly.
It's reflexes, it's reaction, and you just have to get back to game speed. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a full year, sometimes a year plus.
Ooh. Bradford in the end zone, knocked away as intended for Ryan Broyles, and covering Joshua Moore on the play.
Joshua Moore has been the most consistent player in the secondary for Kansas State all season long, and he had great position right there. He basically used the sideline as the 12th defender, and It was a nice job right there. Joshua Moore.
So Stevens will come on for the field goal attempt. Stevens, because they've been so productive in the red zone, only not scoring one time, and the bulk of those touchdowns, he's been limited 2 of 4 in field goal attempts, and he hits this one and makes it 3 of 5 on the season and gives the Sooners 3 more. Their first points of the second half. It's 58-35. Welcome back. Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by KFC. Manhattan, Kansas, a little apple on the campus of Kansas State. Wildcats trail 58-35. That 21-yard field goal good by Stevens. And now Matthew Moreland will kick it off for the Sooners, and Murphy is deep again.
Moreland's right leg is 2 inches longer than his left now. I mean, he's stretching the heck out of his right leg. It's so much.
And Murphy.
Have a limp.
Yeah, with the 3 and to the 20. And Jim Knox, known to horse around, is standing by for FreeCreditReport.com sideline report. Knoxy.
All right, thanks, Bill. Here we are back with our favorite jumping cheerleader, Zach. He's going to try to clear about 10 cheerleaders. We're going to make it really hard. We're going to put Boomer's big head in here. Boomer, come on in with me. We got to get down. All right, Zach, you ready, bud? Big guy, let's see if he can do it. The side semi coming up in.
Whoa! Easy, cleared it by another body.
Yeah, the hardest part was the head of Boomer. He still has it. Good job, Zach. Way to go, buddy.
Zach cleared it by a whole body.
I thought Boomer was going to do that. All right, Dave, you're the analyst. Go ahead and take a slow-mo replay.
All right, let's see now. Josh, he's going to get elevation. Will he stick the landing? Oh, didn't quite stick the landing. I still give him a 9.8, though.
Well, he's just 7 years old. He's a Chinese gymnast.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he had some length on that jump. I think that might be the world's longest back or side flip that I've ever seen. Some length on that bad boy. He's got some springs in his Achilles.
They were right. Good Jim Knox doing it all down on this sideline, setting that up for us as Kansas State has D. Bell running the football. Hadn't had a carry all year. Then working this redshirt freshman out some from Olathe, Kansas, and getting into the action here.
All right, now I've seen Noxie. I've seen him, you know, race all kinds of animals. I've seen him ride motorcycles. I want to see Noxie give that old flip jump right there. I want to see the elevation. Noxie's athletic now.
Oh yeah.
Noxie, he's cut. He's the man.
He's our nutrition manager when we try to go out and eat on these meals. Takes all the fun out of dining.
What exactly do you want, Dave?
Noxie, I know you got it. I want to see you. I want to see you do exactly what our cheerleader, our leaping cheerleader did. You have it in you?
The flip?
Yeah, I want to see you do that side flip.
1 second. I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna work it up. I'm gonna get them in order. Okay.
All right. We'll give you a moment. Meanwhile, Kansas State saying, hey, 11-18, while you guys are horsing around, we're trying to get back in this football game. Yeah. And Freeman completes the pass as that one to Murphy for 24 yards, and now setting up to throw again.
Got him.
Yep, and incomplete for another first down in Oklahoma territory. It's Pierce on the reception. The senior out of National City, California, is stopped by Dominique Franks.
Okay, now this tests arm strength. NFL likes this. Right hash mark to left sideline. That ball's in the air a long time. He didn't throw it from the middle of the field. He had moved the launch point, and he threw it from the right hash mark, actually between the right hash mark and the numbers, to the left sideline. That's plenty of arm strength.
First and 10 at the 42. And Bell, the ball carrier.
You know, you're looking at these quarterbacks that have so much accuracy. And again, it all starts with technique and fundamentals, Bill. And everything athletically starts with your feet. Whether it's catching a ball, throwing a ball, hitting a ball, shooting a ball, you have to have good footwork. And both these quarterbacks, Bradford and Freeman, have outstanding footwork.
Second and 11 from the 43. Freeman, pocket, trying to get out of there now. And man, it is Banks. Oh, mama! What a reception!
What a throw and reception.
Brandon Banks from Josh Freeman Big to little, and they hook up again.
Mutton Jeff, and I'll tell you what, check this out. I mean, Josh Freeman throws this football basically flat-footed because of the pressure. All arm strength. Has to step up in the pocket, and he can't worry about mechanics. Throws off the front foot. The wrong foot is the front foot, and still throws a strike. And watch his footwork. He can't step, transfer his weight. It's just all right arm strength he has shown in this drive. Right hash mark to left sideline, and that throw, what a gun.
34-yard play on a 1st and goal from the 9. D. Bell pops in for maybe a yard.
For that ball to be in the air as long as it was, and to be as accurate to Banks, and Banks to finish the play on both ends. The protection was a little shoddy, but the creation and extension to make a play, turn a bad play into a good one, and to Banks to finish it, oh my goodness.
Banks 5 receptions, 145 yards and a touchdown. Of course, the long one, that's 77-yarder. 2nd and goal from the 9. Freeman, play action, in trouble, gonna keep it. Freeman, still shedding. Wow. Did he get in? Just before the pylon, I believe. He stepped out, but he looked dead, Dave, and just continued to mow him down.
D. Bell, a true freshman, is a guy that got this play going. You called it, Bill, the play-action pass, and D. Bell, number 34 right there, fighting on the linebacker blitz, and then you're not going to arm tackle big old Josh Freeman, and almost tore away from that arm tackle by Travis Lewis to score. Came close.
3rd and goal from the 1 now, and out of the shotgun is Josh Freeman. Bell stays in as his back. Freeman pushes.
Ran into a wall there, didn't he?
Yep, and you might think, well, just get that football out there. We got to be so careful if you start leaning with that football. The people are reaching and grabbing. Everybody in the building pretty well knew he was going to run it. Alexander making the charge on that stop for the Oklahoma defense and did not get in.
See, this is where, you know, in my opinion, you go under center, and you either as a quarterback, you either go under center and sneak it with his size at 6'6", or you let it back go up and over. But I'm not sure you run from the shotgun between the tackles.
So they've been 3 of 3 in 4th down situations today, and 4th and goal from the 1. Looking for it, tosses, and
picked off.
It's tied up in the end zone.
He's got it. Oklahoma comes out with it.
Yep, Oklahoma with the interception. Clayton, I believe, yep, comes off with it.
Well, simultaneous possession, and once it crosses the goal line, goes to the offense. But in the official's opinion, Clayton definitely had the football. Because if both have the football and they're fighting for it, it can go to the offense. But, you know, Clayton actually takes it away. As they go to the turf and they're fighting, he takes it away from Cuba. Clayton just pulled it right out of his hands. And Clayton's on his backside. Cuba doesn't have possession, and Clayton does. And simultaneous possession can go to the offense, but the official ruled it was not simultaneous possession. Did the ball hit the ground? I don't think it hit the ground. Cuba never really had control of the football.
Yeah, so saying incomplete, and it'll be Oklahoma ball inside the 1-yard line. If you got Josh Freeman, though, why don't you just run that ball twice? I mean, I know it's easy looking up here, but if you're, you know you're going for it.
Yeah.
And he has been such a hard guy to pull down.
Let's see, where's the ball? Cuba and Clayton are fighting for it. I can't see where the ball comes out somewhere. Body is everywhere. The ball neither player ever has full possession of the football, and that's obvious because digging in there is Franks as well. Everybody wanted a piece of that football, so it was obviously on the turf. Oklahoma comes up with it. I agree, but I think with Josh Freeman, if you're on the shadow of the goal line like that, quarterback sneak it, not from the shotgun, not from the gun. 6'6", all he has to do is fall forward potentially.
So Oklahoma tries to get out of its own end zone here and they keep it on the ground. We've got 7:53 to go, and that was a critical play, obviously, or series for Kansas State if they had any hope. Down 58-35, they needed the touchdown, and now Bradford back in the controls.
You got 4 turnovers, Bill, and to me that's another turnover losing on downs like that. It's like fumbling the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Brown. Stop near the 2.
So you had 5 possessions that didn't end in a kick. 5 possessions where you gave the football back. Didn't end in a punt, extra point, or field goal. 5 of those, plus you allow a punt return to go to the house. 6 major catastrophes, and that's the reason you're down 23 points. If you don't self-destruct, you played well enough offensively if you cleaned it up and didn't self-destruct to make this a hell of a football game.
The Bradford throw here. He's 13 of 31 for 255 and 3 scores. It's 3rd and 8 out of his own end zone. Incomplete. So they'll have to kick it away, and you can bet with K-State's penchant for blocks, they'll come after him. Iglesias, the intended receiver on that play, setting up a 4th down.
Bill, I agree with you about Kansas State coming after it because you normally have 15 yards from the snap to the punt. That's condensed now because of the compressed field. You're going to be dancing on the back line of the goal line. So now, instead of 15, you're dealing with 12. So the pressure is going to even be more of a factor, and K-State's got 10 coming after him. Look at everybody coming after him.
Only Murphy is deep.
Delay. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. 4th down.
So now you have less than the 12. You have basically like a long 11, and Nall has basically shanked more than one because of the pressure already. So in this case, even if he's a 2-step punter, you're going to go 1 step. 1 step, get rid of it. You can't go 2 steps. You don't have time. Be a 1-step punter.
They bring the house against Nall. 4th and 9.
And he did. Got it out of there anyway.
Murphy. 35. And down to the 33-yard line. K-State will get possession with 6:41 remaining. Nall got it away. Williams made the tackle. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back. Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by KFC. Bill and Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you here in Manhattan, where Kansas State's going to get at the 33 of Oklahoma with 6:41 to go. This can be one of those days. Kansas State has got 503 yards of offense, Dave, and we could have 600 or 700 at this point and be right in the thick of this game. I mean, easy to say, Oklahoma's taken the ball away and done some things, but it's going to be a frustrating day in the film room.
It is. I mean, over 500 yards, 35 points. And you factor in, if you didn't give it away 4 times, lose the ball on downs and give up a punt return.
Last week they had 349 total yards in their loss against Colorado.
And only 13 points.
Yeah. Alexander the tackle here, and let's send it down to Jim Knox with an injury report.
Okay, I got some good news for Oklahoma fans. Austin English, he's not in the game, but he is fine on the sidelines, having a good time right now. Left knee, nothing positive on that, all negatives. As well as Grisham, he's on the bench, still nursing a sore shoulder. Gerald McCoy, guys, is okay. They were looking at his ankle, but those guys are good to go. They're just keeping them out right now for precautionary reasons.
Thank you, Jim.
Uh-oh.
Another loose one, and Oklahoma's come up with it. Here is Lewis. 45, still on his feet, dragging people with him before he is brought down out of bounds by Banks. Travis Lewis.
Great play, Billy. Tipped it to himself. He basically got a hand in there, tipped it, and then controlled it. Josh Freeman, 3 interceptions today. Had 2 all season long, and 3 today. It was over the middle of the football field, and that's not on him. Basically, he didn't tip it to himself. His receiver basically let it bounce off his shoulder pads. You got to get your hands out there and catch it. And once it bounces off shoulder pads, it's anybody's football.
There's the number of the day. 5 turnovers. Lewis gets his 2nd pick of the day, his 3rd of the season.
5 turnovers and lost the ball on downs one time.
Yeah, on the 1.
Yep.
And Oklahoma gets it back with 5:56 to go. And Chris Brown thought he might be done for the day. He's not, as Brown having his best day of the season. 17 for 125 before that carry. Rebeck made the tackle. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Overstock.com's prices are so low you can afford to buy something for your friends too. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
Boy, we've seen plenty of O today.
Yeah.
Both teams have put up yards and points.
1,011 yards between the two. Last week, what was it, Oklahoma and Kansas had 1,165.
Jeez.
And over 730 yards in the first half between these two. A little bit north. Here's another loose pigskin, and Kansas State will pick it up as Brown coughed it up. I don't know if he ever had a hang of it. Reggie Walker comes up with the fumble recovery.
I think, you know, I'm not positive, but I think Felder got his helmet in there and knocked the ball out of there. Number 40 in that purple jersey. Does he put the helmet on the football? No, it's a down lineman, isn't it? Puts his helmet on the football. But at any rate, that ball is, the helmet is right on it. It's 47 puts the shoulder pad on the helmet, and that's the walk-on linebacker, Rebeck.
Yep, Alex Rebeck.
Who put the helmet, the shoulder pad right on it. That's a coaching reel shot right there.
And that's the first fumble that Oklahoma's lost. They came in with no fumbles lost this season.
Had put 8 on the ground, but hadn't lost any. That's the 9th, and they lost one.
And nothing doing, though, for Bell on this carry on first down with inside 5 minutes to go. And
that's
two totally different halves. He had a couple in that earlier drive.
Okay, he had did a pretty good job in blitz pickup on that drive as well. He's a salty little guy, and I do mean little, 5'8", less than 170. He gets after it.
Yeah, he's got 4 carries today, his first of the season, those. Freeman to try to throw it here.
There he is.
To Bell. Found the handle. Follows his blockers and gets out near the 36, 37-yard line. Later today, college football Saturday tripleheader presented by Suzuki and Acura continues. Colorado battles 15th-ranked Missouri, followed by 5th-ranked USC. As they try to stay in BCS contention, they'll take on Arizona. Mike Stoops coaching the Wildcats of Arizona in that one. And Missouri
trying to get back on track.
Back-to-back games to Oklahoma State and then down in Austin to Texas. Huge game for them. And Colorado coming off the win over K-State last week. Here's a completion downfield near the 40 of Oklahoma as Pierce had a big day in the receiving game. Jackson makes the tackle. Pierce came in with 6 receptions on the season. And Pierce this afternoon 9 for 133 and 23 yards on that pickup.
Boy, you look at all the points that Kansas has been involved with. I mean, Oklahoma scored a bunch on them. Tech scored over 60. They got Kansas State next week. Kansas State's in a shootout today. Unbelievable. The Big 12, you have to have calculators.
That was Pierce's 10th reception, 155 yards, and Pierce just missed a touchdown there.
Had it. Had it.
And Bell, meanwhile, came right out of his shoe back there in the as he heads to the sideline. He's got DeMarco Murray's old shoe.
Yeah, Bell's trying to hang in there after the fake. He's out there in the flat, but Freeman throws a pretty football. Pierce just can't quite. I guess, you know, the post. Skinny, not skinny enough. I don't know if they've worked enough together to time it up, but that one was available.
2nd and 10 from the 41. This one thrown low and incomplete. Trying to connect with Deion Murphy.
Texas just scored to take a lead on Oklahoma State. Is that what I just saw there?
Yes,
7-0 the Longhorns. How about Colt McCoy? You know, Tim Tebow has come out publicly and said that he's going to vote for Colt McCoy.
Yeah, he's got to vote.
Yeah, he's got to vote. Yep. And what a class act he is. He did the evaluation, said Colt McCoy's been the best. Oh!
Pierce, the intended receiver, banged in the secondary by Quentin Carter, junior out of Las Vegas.
You know, this is what you call a contested catch, because both are going after the football aggressively, and that's some serious contact there. Pierce got knocked around like a ping pong ball. You know, I mean, that contact was less bothersome for Carter.
Carter trying to juggle it off of his helmet and come up with the INT. 4th and 10 at the 41 now with 3:16 remaining. 58-35 Oklahoma. Sooners number 4 in that BCS poll. And Freeman going deep. And knocked away. Nicely done there in the secondary that time by Jackson. Intended for Murphy. We'll take a brief timeout here on Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by KFC. 58-35 Sooners over the Kansas State Wildcats. College Football Saturdays presented by KFC and the KFC $10 Challenge. Life tastes better with KFC. And brought to you in part by American Airlines. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines. And by New Touch of Gray from Just for Men. New Touch of Gray lets you keep some gray hair for the generation that swore it would never get old. Not personal sponsors of this booth.
Look at Noxie. He'll never get old.
No.
Look at that. Man, I can see why he lost his wallet. They're tossing him around like a...
He's never got anything in it anyway. He hadn't bought dinner in I don't know how many years, so I don't know why he's worried about losing it.
Sam Bradford's going to be able to buy a lot of dinners shortly.
Yes. Here's Joey Halsey, relief, 6'3", 201, the senior from Huntington Beach, California. 16-22 for 140 yards, a TD and a pick. And
a penalty on the play. I'm not sure if Oklahoma didn't have a legal formation. I think they may have only had 6 on the line of scrimmage potentially.
Illegal formation.
Yeah.
Offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Let's send it down to Mr. Sideline Jim Knox.
Okay, you guys wanted to see it, Big Dave Lapham?
Yeah,
okay, so give me a
Knox.
tip. Give me a tip.
Jumping high.
Okay, he cleared 11. Here we go. Ready?
Come on, Noxie. Yeah, I like that optical illusion there, Noxie.
Bring on more.
I'll tell you what, you have proven your athleticism to me, Noxie. I like the forward roll. I like the forward roll as well.
That's right. Okay. He's a competitor. You got to like it, though, huh? A little final timeout here as Noxie takes us to the break.
Look at him, skying. Oh, Nadia Comaneci.
Sooners in control with it 58-35. Halsley back on to quarterback here. The final 2:38. Oklahoma with a 1st and 15 from the 36 following the break. Keeping it on the ground with Moses Madu. Next week, College Football Saturday, presented by KFC. It's Big 12 action, Kansas State at Kansas. Dave, you'll be over there for the Sunflower Showdown that begins on College Football Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, and that's presented by KFC. Later, Pac-10 football presented by Acura, Washington, USC, and also Arizona State at Oregon State. All next week.
Kansas State game could be another shootout, Bill. I mean, both these teams, Kansas's offense, Kansas State's offense, we've seen today, capable of putting up big numbers.
2nd and 13. Madu trying to get outside. Sheds a couple of tacklers before they stretch it to the sideline. Oklahoma's running game today. Brown, 19 for 134. Murray, 17 for 104. Murray scored 2 on the ground, 2 on the receiving end. Brown had a TD. Bradford was Bradford, although his percentage wasn't as good today. 13 of 32 for Sam Bradford, 255 yards, no picks, and he had 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah, he's now got 29 touchdown passes on the season. That's a startling number.
And the Big 12 scores coming in. Nebraska taking care of Baylor today up in Lincoln.
Baylor's getting better, though, aren't they?
No doubt. And competitive. Here's Brown.
Griffin's tough.
Carney makes the tackle. Oklahoma's got Nebraska next week. And then at A&M before they finish with Texas Tech and at Oklahoma State. So you would think the next 2, although there's no certainties in this league.
No.
And particularly at A&M with 80,000 strong down there. Mike Sherman tries to rebuild that program, but those final 2, you got to go Texas Tech and the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a tremendous finale right there with those 2 football teams. But they got Tech at home, which is helpful. But going to Oklahoma for that Bedlam series game,
and right now,
Oklahoma State, that's going to be a challenge.
Oklahoma's cheering for Oklahoma State. They need somebody to beat Texas. Having lost to the Longhorns, basically it's a 2-game slide. They've got to have Texas lose twice for them to get to the Big 12 championship game.
Or if Texas loses, if they win out, then they lose on the tiebreaker.
Right.
Yeah, so it has to have a 2-game, 2-loss deal there. You're right. Oh, another high one.
Snap, and Null boots it away out of bounds. So the Big 12 South standings, we're giving Oklahoma the victory here. Go to 3-1. Tech, as Dave mentioned, hammered Kansas earlier today. And now Texas and Oklahoma State playing with Texas up 7-0 early in that game. And what a fight to the finish in the Big 12 South.
It's remarkable. It speaks volumes to the excellence of this conference that 7 games into the season, we had 4 of the top 8 in the BCS were from the Big 12. 7 games into the season. Now, as we see right here, Texas, Oklahoma State, one of them is going to knock each other off. Everybody can't finish undefeated, but to go that far into it, even in conference play, speaks to how talented this conference is.
1st and 10 at the 38 for Freeman and company here in a last-ditch effort. Pierce makes the reception and is brought down near the 40-yard line of Oklahoma by Lendy Holmes. Holmes, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week for his 8-tackle, 2-interception game against Kansas last week. Senior out of Dallas, South Oak Cliff. Came in with 3 interceptions in the year.
Brent Venables was on the field communicating with Lendy Holmes after that play. I mean, Brent Venables he was all over it. He was out there, and he's not happy. He's calling him over again. He was out on the field 2 or 3 yards trying to explain what happened. There he is out there again, conversing with Lendy Holmes and company, trying to sort it out and to continue to teach, because this football game is over. This football game, you have a 23-point lead with 6 seconds to go. But we saw who they finished with. You got to continue to get better, because, if you're finishing out with Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, you can't rest on any laurels now. I mean, he's not going to be happy. His offense gave up over 500 yards and 35 points.
Yeah.
His defense, he's not happy. Brent Venables isn't happy. Bob Stoops isn't happy about those numbers. They want to continue to get better week in and week out, and this week they didn't get better.
They all pretty much recognize, stubbornly some from the defensive side, that the offenses are just ahead of the defenses in this league right now.
Yep.
But you've got to limit people a little bit better than they did today. No problem here as the ball is picked off out of the end zone, though, so it goes an incompletion. And that ends the ball game. So Oklahoma takes advantage of the turnovers. They did what they needed to get this one back after it was tied at 28. And Bob Stoops, congratulations from Ron Prince with it 58-35, our final score. Oklahoma going to 7-1, and Sam Bradford today 13 of 32 for 255 and 3 TDs.
And when plays had to be made, his receivers made catches and then made people miss. Yards after catch right there. Marco Murray. Here's another reception and making people miss. The common denominator in a lot of these receptions, look at how open Oklahoma receivers were at all quadrants of the football field. Running backs out of the backfield, wide receivers down the football field, tight ends on the perimeter, running people over, all very open. When they're open like that, Bradford, with his accuracy, is going to find you, and he did.
And Sam Bradford helps lead the Sooners to another victory now, 7-1, 3-1 in the Big 12, and Jim Knox is standing by with the Sooner head coach Bob Stoops.
All right, thank you, Bill. Coach, congratulations. Offense, you guys really controlled the football. You were half and half, running and passing just about. DeMarco Murray also got on track. Sam Bradford, another outstanding performance.
Yeah, it's always good when you can be balanced that way. And we've taken care of the ball really so well all year. We had the one fumble that gave them a possession back, but the balance was good. Still, I thought our execution in the second half could have been better.
Talk about your defense. They did give up some points, but yet they had 5 big turnovers.
Well, the 5 turnovers were huge. They make a huge difference in any game, and we came up with some big plays that way. But we gave up some big plays, although too we're putting them in bad field position with some poor special teams play as well. That we've got to help the defense better that way.
Is this a special place for you to come back and coach? It's a place where you got your job starting coaching.
It is. Coach Snyder coming here with him to start with. We were talking before the game. We remember the first weeks and our first win here and how special it was. And Coach Schneider ought to be proud of what he's built here. And it is fun to come back and play. The crowd is great. So fortunately, we had a good win and on to another one.
All right, real quick, next week you go against Nebraska, kind of like a storybook matchup all the time. It seems like when you guys get together.
It's another rivalry, and you know, the way the divisions are, we only have it every few years now, but it's still exciting, and we still have great respect for them.
All right, congratulations again. Thank you, Coach. Bill?
Thank you, Jim. You know, sometimes as you look at Sam Bradford getting congratulations, Bob Stoops, you can't get too picky. In this league, in this caliber, with what's going on, yeah, you got things to work on, but you just got to win and move on anymore.
Well, Bill, there's, you know, the left-hand column is W. It's not UW, ugly win. And on the right-hand column, it's not PL, pretty loss. I mean, you either win or you lose. And in this conference, every win you get, you got to enjoy, relish, and like Coach Stoops said, it's a 24-hour rule. By tomorrow, move on to the next game.
Wildcats fall to 4-4, 1-3 in the league. They visit Kansas next week. And again, that'll be on Big 12 College Football Saturday. And then another road date at Missouri before they finish at home against Nebraska and Iowa State. Our final score, once again, Oklahoma 58-35 over Kansas State. Our College Football Saturday tripleheader continues tonight at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Big 12 play from Mizzou, Colorado, and the 15th ranked Tigers. Then it's on to the Pac-10 as number 5 Southern Cal takes on Arizona. This is Bill Land for Dave Lapham. Jim Knox saying so long from Manhattan, where Oklahoma wins today 58-35 over Kansas State. You've been watching Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by KFC. So long, everybody.